All right, there we are. Hi, everybody. Richie here from Feeling Blegh. And today I am joined with Lease On Life.
Hello.
Gents, how we doing?
All good, man. Yourself?
I'm very good. Thank you very much. So tell us, who is Lease On Life?
Lease on Life. We are only free part of Lease on Life. We've obviously got Tyler, who's our drummer, and Elric, who's our second guitarist. But you got me, Jack on vocals,
Andrew on bass.
You got Scorer on guitar.
Nice.
Or rhythm guitar.
Yeah.
Be specific. Yeah.
What's Lease On Life's origin story then? What's the old spider that bit you in the hand?
Guys, isn't it?
Yeah, to be fair, the way the band started was sort of after we sort of came out of lockdown. I mean, me and Lewis, we lived together, so we started just going to every sort of local show we could. Like I was at like Last Pub Standing. What were all the other ones? There's Lowell, a few there.
Like place, Voodoo's. I mean, more the sort of older sort of.
Oh yeah, Voodoo's before.
Older space before it moved into the Gonzo space that it is now. But yeah, no, lots of really good local gigs, and we just met Tyler.
Yeah, well, yeah, we basically, I think the way it started was we and Scorer probably had a bit too few many rums, and we were like, "Oh, should we give this a go?" Because we tried it that like fucking hell years ago, weren't it? But you know, nothing really ever amounted to much. And then I did like a little project with Tyler in the past, and we saw him on Halloween. I think I was Spider-Man. You were, for some reason, Dave Grohl. He just had a fucking wig on, basically.
And I was working.
And you were working at
that club.
We didn't know. Well, we knew of you at that point, but we didn't know about the bass.
On the sideline.
Oh yeah. But yeah, we pretty much just ended up going up to Tyler and just went, "Do you fancy having a go at this?" And yeah, we just booked in like our first practice session, started jamming for a little bit and see what happened. Elric sort of saw a video on Instagram and just asked to come down. He was really good, so we went, "You're in it now. Like, you're not getting out." And yeah, we just sort of like started, but we just sort of just pissing about, writing songs, and then we didn't have a bassist. Well, we did, which was me, and I weren't any good, so I had to go at doing vocals, which I was shit at the start. Still, meh. Yeah. And then yeah, we got at that point anyway. We were looking for a bassist, and this happened.
I was the last one to the party, so.
But fuck, we're well worth the wait, man.
They just had all these cool songs, and like all I had was like these like phone recordings. I was like, I don't know what to even make of this. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna try and learn. The Scorer hand wrote the tabs, and I was like, I'm gonna try a few of them. And if it's
how did you read them? What's in the handwriting?
Yeah,
I do it backwards as well. I do it the wrong way around.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm gonna take what I can get from everything. I'm gonna put all my brain cells into the music theory place, and yeah, it was just so much fun. Like I was just addicted as soon as we had that first practice. I was like, I knew these two, just because I used to work as a photographer at the nightclub that they all would go to. Didn't know the other two like at all. I've literally taken their photos and not met them at this point, and had no idea. And I was like, maybe the other guys will be nice, and they were just the loveliest guys. And I was like, yeah, this is it. I'm sticking around, and we've just been jamming like every week since, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, every week,
just getting sweaty, stinky.
Oh yeah,
the arches.
Sorry, go on.
Oh no, carry on, man.
Okay. I was gonna say, so when this started, was this like what, like 2022, 23 sort of thing, or?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah,
it's maybe.
Was 23 when you joined?
I joined in 24, so you guys must have started like 23 or something.
Yeah, 23 we started, and we sort of a few practice sessions out, and then we started just practicing at Elric's house, where Tyler had the fucking worst electric kit you've ever heard. Like it didn't make sounds that a drum kit I think will ever make, but it managed it. Yeah, that's how we wrote most of our sort of first grouping of songs, and then yeah, we moved to the Archers then, didn't we, for a little bit, and then I think when was the first show? It was 24, wasn't it?
Oh, it was Elric's birthday.
Yeah, Elric's birthday. He wanted to play a show before he turned 30, so in true Lease On Life long-haired fashion. We did it the day before,
Yeah,
just so he could play a gig before he turned 30.
almost forgot that bit.
And yeah, that was after that. That was the fucking gigs just kept coming, didn't they? Like, yeah, just we just had fun with it. To be honest, it's what all this ever was. Hence the EP, Searching for Escape. Listen now, out now. I'm good at this one.
I have had it on repeat. I only have one criticism of it, and it's too bloody short. All right.
It is.
Oh, we've got a lot more music we need to show. I think like from our last show, we played every single song, and it was 15 of our own songs. I think.
Yeah.
15. Yeah, 15 songs. So we've got a lot we need to.
Even that fits into an
get
hour's
done.
headlining set. So short song central right here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like when all 4 songs go around like 4 times on the school run, and I mean, it's only like a 10-minute drive. It's sort of
Yeah, that's great. What's your
But-
favourite song then, Richie? That's what we want to know.
I mean, Longhead's like the first one you release, and I can't. Yeah,
That's
Sick.
yeah, we
no,
are.
it's
very
hard to
happy.
not say that one. Yeah. I'm terrible with song names anyway, so like I could listen to the whole lot. The one that goes, yeah. But yeah, I like that. Like I said, I had that on repeat. That went straight on my playlist. So
Hell yeah, I'd enjoy
it's
it.
just sort of like it's got jumbled up in the 50+ hours I've got in there at the minute. So it's sort of,
Nice.
it's there somewhere.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, appreciate you listening, man.
Like genuinely, like so, like prior to me seeing you guys, my whole punk thing was like pop punk. That was back in the mid 2000s, my skater boy phase.
Oh yeah.
I can't really say the phase. It's just I just sort of like switched over to metal then. I couldn't skateboard then. I probably still couldn't skateboard now because I'm older and frailer and fatter.
I feel that.
But
I could barely ollie, mate. So yeah, I'm in the same boat. I did it for so long as well, and I think I ever maybe landed a kickflip. That was probably about it.
I could do a standing ollie, couldn't do a moving one. And then like I mean the village I grew up in had a skate park, but it's just like go down there with a skateboard so you don't look out of place and just hang out with your mates. That's pretty much all I need. Yeah.
Bring a scooter if you want to make friends.
Oh no. Get beaten up.
At least you've got a weapon, man.
I gotta admit, like like there'd be some of like the smaller kids turn up on scooters, but that was about it really. You sort of let them slide because they're like 8. Yeah, you let that sort of slide a little bit.
If you're a teenager on a scooter, sort of life. Grow up.
Yeah, like I say, like prior to that, my punk was all pop punk and that. Sort of like you'd see in like the Good Charlotte videos where it's all the full punk scene and everything over there and that. But then it's like, yeah, but musically you're a bit different. Yeah, so I like I said that's I can't. Well, I'll say I opened the door because I really liked hearing you like the first time because it was something completely different. And like, well, I think what was it, Melt to the Masses last year, and then you guys turned up a Rampage. I was like, you guys releasing any more stuff? Because like one song on repeat is kind of.
Oh, we got to thank you for all them streams that happened.
But no, fucking brain fart. Yeah. So, what's your sort of like origins of your I don't say punk. What's your punk era origins then? If well, actually, what's your musical origins? Let's go with that one.
Well, to be fair, like I got my sister to thank for my music taste. Really, like she was slightly older than me, so she was always in charge of what CDs went on in the car. And I was very much like when I was it was like when I was in primary school, and I was like trying to be. I was like 50 Cent and fucking Eminem, that sort of thing. Really into my rap, and she would play like Slipknot on the way to school. I'd act like I didn't like it, but I did. I couldn't let her have the music, so I had to try and play that one up. And then it was just sort of always wanted to do something with music. They got in really into gigs from like teenager. I think first gig I went to was Bowling for Soup at the UEA. So that's like the pop punk sort of aspect of what I really fucking loved when I was a teenager. And then to be fair, it just grew more into like a bit like yourself. Like I went a bit more into like nu metal and that sort of thing as I got a bit older, and then just discovered people at Waterfront. And yeah, I think it was always one of them things I always just looked at and went, God, I want to go on stage and scream in front of people or play an instrument. Like I said, I couldn't do bass very well, so I get to run around now, which is better.
What are you?
For me, it was kind of like my dad's influence of sort of like metal growing up at first. So it was kind of like that was the heavier stuff that I was listening to when I was growing up. And then I guess when I moved here, it was kind of the friends growing up around me, sort of like going to gigs when we were sort of like in high school. That was sort of like when things were starting to really materialize, sort of like in my music taste.
Did I go to your first gig with you in Norwich?
Yeah, it was Yashin.
It was Yashin, wasn't it?
Yeah.
God,
Oh, big up Yashin.
Yeah. We all love a bit of emo as well.
Oh mate, yeah. Well, we both had we had, like obviously got nothing now, but we used to have like the fucking black fucking Swift.
Yeah.
Get the straighteners on it every morning.
There's a great photo out there somewhere.
Yeah, you got my hair at one point. But,
It's in the group chat.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
definitely. Yeah, gigs was always the sort of the thing that pushed me to listen to a lot more of the heavier music and sort of getting into. I guess punk was sort of further down the line. Pop punk, like you were saying, was sort of my thing that got me into the heavier music as well. So it was like bands like Blink-182, A Day to Remember, and obviously Day to Remember have that heavier side as well. So that kind of branches into those other sounds that make you go, oh, I want to listen to a bit of that instead. And then you see yourself listening to like Slipknot and System of a Down, and getting really into those sort of bands. But yeah, I feel like punk was sort of further down the line. I guess when it sort of settled a little bit more, and it was just like, oh, I've listened to a little bit of The Clash before. I've listened to a little bit of Dead Kennedys before. Let's listen to all their albums and see what else they have to say.
I think Frank Carter was probably one of the main ones I first saw, and I was like, fuck, this has got so much going for it.
Definitely.
Probably like Let Live back in the day as well. I saw them. Holy fuck. Just seeing like absolute chaos on the stage. I was like, there's something in this genre.
Yeah.
Especially me, I just like, I love moving.
Exactly.
I couldn't stand still.
Any kind of show that's got really, really big energy to it. Frank Carter's a great example. Bob Dylan, Let Live, like you said. Band called Heck that I used to really love as well. They were absolute chaos.
The Download was insane.
Well, I remember seeing them at Slam Dunk, and the guy was playing guitar with his microphone with a circle pit going around him. And it was
He's in the crowd.
Yeah. So you just kind of like, you just feel like you're part of something huge, and just that energy is just, it's just there in front of you. I think that's what we always wanted. Well, I always wanted to personally get into music that we were making, I guess.
Yeah.
You're up, mate.
Oh yeah. I think I got into it all. I could trace it back to Lordi winning Eurovision in 2006, but no, I got into Slipknot and stuff like that, and just thought like the same as these guys. And I got into a band like pretty much straight away when I was like 12, and it was all the local bands that were like up and coming, and like small bands that were coming up. Bands like, I really remember Enter Shikari putting out their first album, and that was just the energy. And like Bring Me the Horizon's first album, everything from that era was where it all just came from. And just like Parkway Drive, and like the craziness, and like the stage diving and the jumping around and never standing still, just basically having a mosh pit on stage like with your guitars. And just any band that does anything like that was always what it was. And I think probably the same as like you guys were saying about the pop punk being the gateway into punk a little bit more. I was blessed with a dad with pretty cool music taste as well. So all the more guitar-y stuff definitely came from all of that, and we bond over that. But then like less riffy, less like fiddly things, and a bit more like just straight into punk, like just yelling and not being able to really play the instrument. I don't even really know that I listen to all that much that really sounds like that. I think Teen Mortgage are a pretty cool one in terms of keeping it simple and just sounding gnarly with like the least amount of equipment possible. But it's always just about energy and movement, and getting to have fun like you do in the pit on stage, and being like, okay, you guys kill each other. I'll play here my guitar over here, and you guys can all like tell me how crazy it was down there afterwards. I'll stay a safe distance away.
See, I've got like the easiest part because I haven't got to look down at a fretboard. I get to see absolute all the chaos unfold. Like, especially like what happened in Ipswich. Wow,
That was sick.
that was Ipswich, fucking good crowd, by the way.
That's exactly what I mean. Like
Yeah.
that kind of
Love
thing
that.
where it's like I got injured at that show, like trying to be in the pit, and I'm like, this is why I play guitar up here and not get in the middle of it there, because I don't bounce like I used to.
Yeah, I would say it's the cardio side of things now. I'm like, I just had one song and I'm like, I need a proper break, like in between.
I made it like 10 minutes into Mincer, crazy band. Their crowds actually brutal. I made it like 10-15 minutes in. I was like, I need fresh air. They were a great band, but like the crowds were absolutely crazy.
Yeah, first note is just bodies flying. You're like, this is good.
That's how you know they're doing it right, though.
Oh,
It's so fun.
Jack said about like needing a break after a song like Metal to the Masses Heat 4. Eyes and Eyes were playing. I went around one of their circle pits. I just went around 3 times. I went, nope, cardio's done. Fuck that.
Yeah, exactly. Just send someone else in that's younger and springier and just be like, you do the running, I'll have a beer.
It's hard to train.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was, because they that pit was like run by the Insidious. Like the like the whole band was in it. There's a pit. I'm like, yeah, and then I found out they're all like 17. I'm like, that's why they've got the energy.
They've got the energy. Yeah,
they're 20 years younger than me. That's
so
why.
Being in a band together and the mosh pit being your band for another band, like that's awesome. I love that.
We tried that once when we played Space. It was with My Latest Failure playing. We had just like a mosh pit between ourselves. We look over and then Tyler's like upside down on stage. I don't know how the hell that happened. I don't know.
Yeah,
like I say, it was just us. Like,
you just have no energy. When you play and then have a mosh pit after you've already done a set, you're just dicing with dehydration. It's so risky. It's fun.
Go on.
Oh no, you can make
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, right.
So like speaking of Metal to the Masses, last year you went in. Was that your first time?
Yeah. To be fair, it was like when we first. Sorry, I just had like when we sort of started and we were looking for gigs. We had it was one of the first things we went for because we had our good friend like CB from Iridium. Them guys were the first time we ever went. That was the year that they won, and it was just really cool sort of environment to meet, all these other bands that are local. Obviously, you're all fighting for Bloodstock, but you sort of forget about it when you're there. You just sort of all end up hanging out. Especially like this year, there seems to have been like obviously it being Metal to the Masses. That was one of the first things we were like, we're a fucking punk band. Like I can't see either people enjoying it or whatever, but it was like we can get on stage, people will have to watch us. And then it turned out that people fucking loved it. So yeah, I find like it's fucking metalheads. There's something on stage what makes you want to move. You're gonna probably enjoy it. Like we just like angry noises basically. Like
it's made of like metal components. It's just metal these days is so heavy. I feel like I always say it every time it comes up. I feel like we're playing on ukuleles compared to the other bands because you've got 8 strings and like Knights of the Nihilist. And
I was going to say that when are we going to play with a band like Eyes of the Nihilist? Like you wouldn't put it together, but we all got on really well. We all had a fucking great night. It's just we're all in it for the same thing. We just love all playing music, and
it is all that angry, shouty music at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, like I say, it's just we all bond over screaming people.
Talking to Obi, I literally talked to Obi the other night, and when we did the Metal to the Masses interviews for the final, just gone, Mike from Eyes said the same sort of thing. Like 10 years ago, like the Norwich scene was quite toxic, apparently.
Fair.
Everyone was quite backstabby and catty and stuff.
I wonder if that was everywhere.
Whereas like now it's like extremely supportive, and like when I've seen you guys play, I'm like that's not a pretend mosh pit, that's not a pretend yeah, also these you guys are genuinely entertaining these people, and like you can tell they're actually enjoying it. You know what I mean?
I think I thank you for starters, but I'm wondering if you're thinking about like I experienced the thing I was in the Essex music scene like that long ago, or like up until about 10 years ago. And I'm wondering if you mean about the toxicity that's like from it's all everyone's trying to do their best to just get everyone's attention in the best way. And I feel like there was a time on social media in particular about 10, 15 years ago where you could just kind of draw attention from just like kind of starting beef with other bands. And it was like the thing to get people to talk about you like locally was, oh yeah, these guys are beefing with these guys and they wrote a diss track and they're playing this gig and they said this. And I'm wondering if it's that, but like, I don't know. Like I haven't seen any of that in such a long time. And it's really like good that that's all been left in the past. Is that what kind of stuff they were talking about with like toxic music
Like I
scene?
say, I just got like the highlights of the highlights of the highlights. If you know what I mean, it was
Yeah.
just like I said, I was just like case of I was they said a decade or so ago everything was
Yeah.
quite toxic, whereas like now
yeah.
it's completely different. So
It's a wonderful
Um,
music scene. There's so much camaraderie in it, and everyone just wants to lift each other up.
I
And
think that's like
it's
the
so
thing after
great.
lockdown was actually because I never really did like I would say I never really sort of delved into much of the local scene. It was always like, whatever's at Waterfront or UEA, Epic, that sort of thing. And then, yeah, I think, like I say, when Scorer was sort of introduced me to a few bands, you just sort of then get chatting with people. You're just like, these are just, regular people who are just doing the one thing that they fucking love. And I think it definitely rings true with us. Like for me in particular, I'm just like, this, I live for this shit now. Like it's every show is just it's just something to like aim for, being like, right, let's have an insane time and hopefully some people enjoy it. But I
We're
think
so blessed in Norwich with all the venues and bands as well.
Yeah.
There's so much talent and so many people that are willing to go to something that isn't a nightclub around here.
Yeah.
Like people want to go and see these bands and people want to get involved in bands and make them, and everyone knows each other at these shows, and it's really wonderful.
Yeah.
It's sick. I love it. Moving here was the best thing ever.
Hell yeah. Well, we wouldn't have found you if not so.
if it makes you feel any extra about, I travel like 60 odd miles when I come over that way. So
Damn.
You're King's Lynn, aren't you? Yeah.
I'm just the other side. So I'm actually in Lincolnshire.
Oh fucking hell! I didn't realise you
Wow.
committed that much. Damn.
It's literally you get Kings in 2 steps. The village I'm in. It's not
Yeah.
that far. It just sounds good when I travel all the way from Lincolnshire to come see you guys. It's sort of,
I hope we make it worth the drive. That's really
Yeah.
wonderful to know. Thank you so much, man.
well, I mean, like, nah,
He
very
has to have a
much
few
so,
beers before we go on, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm enjoying this now."
Yeah, go make the drive.
Yeah, earplugs on, blindfold on. Best friend. So, I mean, this particular bit's a bit more for Jack. Where do you find that energy? Where you got? Like, I mean, myself personally, I'm not a confident person. Like, this is like, oh fuck. So, and we're sat on phones, away. Let alone actually being in front of a crowd. Shit myself is the least of my issues. There, sort of. How do you find that energy and confidence there? Because it's like you. I don't know what the right way to describe it. But yeah, he's just full of confidence and you own your space. That's I think that's a
my
good way
head's
to
getting
describe it.
bigger, mate. Keep talking. No, to be fair, I think I spoke to you a bit about it before, like a bit like yourself. Like, but when I was sort of a bit younger, I was really into like my martial arts and that. I was a bit late into it, like into when I was like 20. But I really enjoyed that, and obviously did compete a little bit. I think the way I don't get like nervous on stage is basically I got knocked the fuck out in front of about 200 people. So my mindset was if I miss a note, it doesn't really matter to like. I mean, I've had some horrendous voice cracks on stage, like very noticeably. But it's just just carry on. It's fine. I think that was. I don't think I could have ever been a front man to a band if I didn't do that. So it's like sort of was a good thing to help me build confidence in it. And then to be fair, I guess also the cardio from doing all that sort of training probably fucking paid off as well, because I do try and keep moving on stage as well. Yeah, I think that's probably the gist of the confidence side on stage. Like, I don't really just fucking own it really. Like it's what I've always wanted to do, so I might as well go ham on stage for it for 25 minutes or so.
Nice. Sorry, I've gone mush again. So when it comes to your gigs and stuff, like how far around Norwich have you like branched out over the couple of years you've been doing this?
I feel like London's the furthest we've been, isn't it?
Yeah, London was the furthest we've been. That was gig at a place called the Beehive, which we met a few. It was a band from was it Green Nasty? They were from like Bristol way, I believe. So it was like a case of just, again, they sort of just got a few people together. We had no idea really on what we were going to turn up to, but then we ended up playing with another Norwich band called Life Jacket, who we're playing with in July at the Holloway on a certain date.
We love Life Jacket.
What was the date? What was the date?
I think it's the 15th of July. If it's
15th of
not,
July.
I'm only a couple of days out. I didn't
Yeah.
look at the poster. I'm very sorry if you know what? I'm actually going to check. But
yeah, but now we've done like I say, yeah, we've done. That's the furthest afield we've been. Obviously we've done like things like Rampage in Kings Lynn, which is fucking great. Playing in a skate park,
which would be fun. And then we did was it Sheringham or Cromer?
Yeah, we did one in Sheringham. That was an interesting one.
That's as far to the coast.
Yeah,
and we obviously Ipswich.
Just people walking through like past the pub, and it was just us shouting about whatever the fuck we shout about. Yeah, I think that's sort of it, really. And we've done Great Yarmouth. That was
it is the 15th.
15th, hey, 15th, Blood Jacket, Holloway, get your tickets. But yeah, we're sort of like now at that bit, I think, where we want to try and I guess venture out. I think it's just trying to get in contact with some people. Yeah, because it'd be really cool to sort of go up the country and play venues and cities, which I've not really travelled that much of the UK. Other than like the Peak District, but I don't know whether we can get a show at the Peak District. Yeah, like I say, that's sort of the next steps really. We've just sort of wanted to, like, I guess, just drill our sets and music to like the Norwich scene, see how it would be taken, and we must be doing something right. People keep asking us to support them, so that's winning our book. Means we get to play more.
Yeah. So you said about you like is there anywhere you specific you'd like to try and aim for, or is it everywhere and just see what happens?
Multiple places. I mean, London's somewhere that we've kind of thought about a lot. Brighton somewhere has a really good scene there.
Yeah, Brighton and Bristol sound fun.
I'd love to get up to like Leeds way and that sort of
Manchester
bit. Yeah, up north would be cool. Yeah, like I say, I think it's again we just stop being long heads and actually get our ass into gear.
It's not just me; it is everyone.
Yeah, the song's about a score, but it does apply to everybody in the band.
I love that you made sure the first time you ever said that it was recording.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Oh no, I didn't press record. So like out of everyone you've played with, like, is there anyone in particular you've enjoyed playing with the most?
Oh, that's such a hard question to answer. They're all so good.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many cool bands.
I think we've played with so many sort of like different genres of people as well. Yeah. Like one of the most recent ones we played was with a band called Dead Air. I think they're from London. They were incredible. Like I think Tyler saw it get announced on Voodoo's and was just like, we need to ask about this one because these boys are very much our vibe. And then as soon as I sort of started listening to them, was like, yeah, we need to get on this gig, and it all planned really nicely. Great group of lads as well, and yeah, it's just what was it we said they were bodacious.
That's the word of the night. What weekend?
We used that word for everything. I think I used it in your interview with you, to be fair. Yeah, I'd say they're probably one of the highlights to me. Like I say, I was trying to think back now because, like I say, we played with like a lot of these sort of like some hardcore bands as well. I'd say like a lot of the bands we saw at Rampage were incredible. Like fucking second location, like
I
Yeah.
love those.
fucking yeah. I mean, Sleep's cousin is just doing bits, and you know it's great. It's been such a pleasure to meet all these people as well.
I didn't realise Second Location were from Lynn. I'd seen them
Yeah.
a couple of months beforehand because they were supporting Hacktivist
Yeah.
at the waterfront, and like I figured it was like a lot of stuff when I go over to Norwich. They were just another Norwich band, and I saw was it Harry frontman.
Yeah.
Yeah, see him at Rampage with a Lynn shirt on. I thought, all right, cool. That must be like his sort of gimmick, sort of thing. Get wherever you're at, get a local football shirt on, sort of thing. That's quite a cool thing. I was there, and
Not
then
even just the local.
I was like, no, he's just a Lynn boy. I was like, oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So, mind you, that said though, it wasn't until like a few weeks before that I actually realised Lynn had kind of got a scene. Because the last thing I knew about was a gig that Eyes had put on, like a year beforehand, 2 years beforehand. No, a year beforehand. And the last gig I knew about in Lynn, I was 16. So that was a little while ago.
Not
So
going to ask how old you are. Don't worry.
It's so
I
cool.
had to
that
cut my
they do
leg off
that.
and count the rings.
Yeah. It's because that's like what we like really like when obviously Yellow Tape Pitchy sort of said about it. We were like, I mean, yeah, you sort of just think of it as the main cities and stuff, but yeah, I didn't really think about Kings Lynn. And then, I mean, the day was rammed to be fair, and we got like I say, we just got to see so many sick bands. Like I think I think the first band we saw was Nerve Peel, and I just remember being like,
They
this
were
is
crazy.
yeah, they were fucking great fun. Yeah, I was just, I mean, it was hard, especially with the back-to-back thing, like one band finishing and then you go outside and there's one playing outside. It was just, yeah, it was a sick
Perfect.
way of
It
doing
was
it.
a
to be
really,
fair.
really well run festival.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
when we go to like big festivals and they have got that stage which is like back-to-back. It's a bit annoying when they sound check, but to be like you're there an hour, like 2 hours, you're like seeing 4 bands. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. So yeah, what that was, I'd love to see that happen again this summer, and we'd love to do it. So Pitchy.
And I missed the last one, so I want to do this.
Oh yeah, score one. But
He is way over us.
Here's who played instead of.
there we are. Ashley played that show. His guitar solo.
It was fun. You were in Ireland, weren't you?
And
You were
yeah,
at a wedding.
I was at it was like a 2-day wedding, yeah, and
We FaceTimed.
FaceTimed him during Longhead.
It was very weird.
Yeah.
Band to play and being like, oh my god, and just on your phone live and not being in it. It's just like I'm enjoying this, but at the same time, I'm really feeling like I'm missing out.
Can't hear the vocalist. He's too fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, one thing about Rampage is sort of the stigma. You can't have any kind of outside entertainment in West Norfolk and not have a Lynn Star lorry to do on.
Yeah.
Like everything I've ever been to, whether it's just like a public thing where they've got a band playing or whatever, there's a Lynn Star lorry parked up with someone in the back singing or playing or whatever. So
Oh yeah.
I was my dad, my granddad both work for Lynn Star, so it's like very much a pillar in my
Oh yeah.
life.
They
So.
should make that the backdrop for the next Rampage. Just
Sorry?
the side, like with the logo.
So just is there anybody in particular you'd like to play with?
I mean,
Like that we haven't already, or
Yeah,
You haven't already.
Oh my god,
there's a few. I mean, there's
Bob Dylan, please.
oh, yeah, Bob
Maybe
Dylan,
Morgan,
please.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the more local bands I would love to play with would be Other Half.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
love their stuff. To be fair, yeah, because like I mean that was like one of the first ones I think you went to from lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's like Sleemo and everyone. So it's quite a few of the bands like from local that we've just seen throughout these years. God, I really don't know, to be fair. I'm trying to think because we played with a fair few now. I know who do you want to play with?
I mean, I was going to say other half.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Other half, get us on the show, please.
Other
Please.
would be great to play with.
I'm not begging.
God, if we're talking bigger, like I don't know, further down the line, it'd be cool to play with like Bob Dylan or
Kid Bookie, he's
Oh,
one of
Kid
my
Bookie.
absolute favourites. Yeah,
Kid Capici was
Kid
that one?
Capici
that we
would be
showed
good,
for?
yeah.
That guy was cool.
Yeah.
Or that band.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, soft play.
Oh,
soft play. Oh,
Last Sounds. That's a band I
Last
want to
Sounds,
play
yeah.
with. They're from Bristol, and they've done a song with Jason from Let Live, and they're just doing so much right now. They're a really cool band. That'd be awesome to play with them.
yeah. I was just have said Let Live was one of the. I think someone with like Shikari back in the day.
Yeah.
And I just sort of like so I just saw him like running on the floor like that. You're like,
God, can you imagine playing with Let Live? That'd be crazy.
we can dream one day. We'll clip this when it happens. Just so
That's the kind of thing that's like on our minds, you know.
This is when we manifested it out to the universe.
Oh mate, we're gonna give it a go. Like I say, it'd be an absolute dream to play with some of these bands. I think it'd be fair when it comes to like shows in the future. Not just because I get hopefully a free festival ticket, but I want to be playing festivals. It just seems like the funnest vibe to meet bands and just I don't know, just again play in front of some people who pissed in a field. Like that's what I mean. That's where I download 15's the first one, and like everyone who has their first festival experience or whatever, it's just you find your home. You're just like it's live music. There's beer. There's that's it.
Yeah.
Like I say, I think that's where I'm at. I really want to be able to get on some like festivals. That would be like the dream, to be fair.
Yeah. Get to meet everyone that way.
Oh yeah.
So just going back to things about like influence. So writing wise, when it comes to what your own stuff, what's the influence there when it comes to that?
I mean, I think
It depends on the song, really. I guess.
yeah. Just I mean, sometimes it's just like the song comes about when you lot are just jamming something. There'll just be something that seems to click, and we just run with it. I'll look at like any lyrics that I might have like already written. Because I tend to just write songs to nothing and see what happens. Half the time they just sort of one day they'll jam something and I'll just sing along, and that's how most of these songs have been made, to be honest. And then yeah, as far as like subject matters, they just sort of try and pick a thing and go with it. I think I go with like how soft play probably right, because like having songs about electric scooters and stuff like one of the most recent ones, Beat Beat, was written because I was just sick of traffic on the A47. And yeah, that it's so quick to write when I'm angry about a certain thing. Like Longhead
That
was about a week of writing because I live with him. I had a lot of content to build a song from. So I think that's how I sort of go. And then I guess I don't know what your guys sort of influences are for.
Well, yeah, I think Turnstile for me is the
Yeah,
one that I'm always got in my head.
well.
I'm always trying to be like somewhere halfway between like Turnstile and Limp Bizkit or something. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, don't go to. And it's I'm always just trying, just don't write metal, and just try and write something that isn't metal.
Yeah.
And don't go ridiculous on the fretboard, I guess, because I need to calm down and remember what punk is meant to be.
Yeah.
Never.
But I don't know. Yeah, and Team Mortgage, stuff like that. What about you? Well, your name like you've got so many playlists. So
Yeah,
you've got to choose from.
I've got about 500 playlists that I've put together over the years. So it kind of filters in from like set lists that I've seen over the years, live music that I've seen, just sort of music that I've been listening to in a time period, so that you can kind of go back to it and sort of. I just feel like I just love nostalgia so much and going back to certain time periods, and sort of you can time travel for music a little bit.
You can listen to a song and it'll take you back to one place.
Yeah, 100%. I do it for holidays. So
I
you
was
be like,
thinking about how
yeah,
you're still like a bit like Basement sometimes.
Yeah,
Still like
definitely.
nostalgia.
I mean, Basement would probably be my biggest influence for writing, I guess, along with bands like Fiddler, maybe Dead Kennedys, and The Clash as well. Just that high energy, getting angry about something political or something that someone's talking about in a song, and kind of that can add to the sound as well. So I think that our music kind of captures that sometimes. But yeah, when it started off, the first band that I was in was a pop punk band. So I kind of already had the writing styles down from that in sort of more of a brighter sense rather than a sort of doomier sense. So when it was sort of writing for this band, it was kind of like channeling into that and still remembering all of the things I learned before, but putting the new spin on it and trying to make it heavier, but still add some new sounds into it. Because by the point of this band being started, I think not just me, but everyone else's tastes has sort of grown so much that there's so many different genres and subgenres within what we listen to. It could just be something little like a hook in a turnover song, or like something heavy in a drug church song, which is it's heavy, but it's got that emo influence in it as well. So it's like it kind of adds to everything.
It's like writing for the song, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's like having a recipe.
What does the song need, and
there's
what can you add to
I
it?
feel like they say we never like pigeonhole anything to be like, oh, this is what we got to sound like. It's like if that just sounded cool to us, it's staying basically. Like I'd say there's no, yeah, we've got to like I say with influences we've had, but I think as we're a lot of these later songs we've written, I think we're really coming into like our own sound, and a lot of influences from I don't know, even like say going from like hardcore or something like that now. Like I've even started sort of trying to do like more sort of heavy growls and stuff like that on stage. It's really fun to do. Makes it sound a bit more.
I started listening a lot more after we did a Rage Against the Machine cover, like when we were getting started, and I think I started listening to so much more of them because I got really like locked on, and I've been really listening to like all the old school Linkin Park as well, because I think, right, I'm so used to just making the biggest wall of sound with guitars and drums possible, because the vocals are just going to be like in all my previous bands like really harsh, and I'm like, there is a lot of information that we're trying to convey quite clearly and like eloquently, I think, like for what it is. There's long like lines and long lyrics and like a lot to say, and if you're just riffing like a death metal band over that, you're just going to lose everything. So I was like, just dial it back, serve the song, find out what the lyrics are about, find out where Farrell's at and how he wants this song to come together, and what the kind of intention is behind it, and then think, okay, I'll only add as much of me to that as is like kind of needed. And if there's loads of guitar riffs needed for like just getting a load of energy going, getting a load of people moving around, or if it's about, no, there's a bit more to say in this song, kind of, you can make it a bit less like chaos the whole time, because if you start at 10, like you can't really go up from there. Whereas if you dial it back, then you've got like room to listen, and then once you hear what it is that Farrell's pissed off about, you can then turn the lyrics up, turn the volume up, turn the guitars up, and then now we know why we're headbanging and punching people and stuff.
I don't say it's just like reading the songs in certain bits, because I say like Elric brings like a flurry to it, so there'll be points where I just feel like it's better I drop out, so it's the guitars and that, the vocal points are that part of the song. I do try and cram in a lot into a song, but like there is bits where I'm like, one, I want a breather, and
we're losing them, giving them the old razzle dazzle.
yeah. If in doubt, SpongeBob or Weezer. What was the other one he does?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's probably that. Really.
Yeah.
How we write songs.
I guess, I mean, I can't really speak for Elric or Tyler. Like Tyler's just full of good drum beats.
Yeah.
And he hears what you're playing, and he takes prompts really well. He's good at understanding the old do this. Oh, okay, now do this. Like, he's got some good beats in him. And then Elric, I think, like his influences are a lot like Deftones and like really like metalcore, not metalcore, new metal stuff. And he adds like some really nice kind of nasty riffs from all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
While keeping it fun and upbeat a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's the thing. You just got to look at how each of you play on stage. I mean, it's usually just smiles, and you don't much of a looking angry. I try and do that, but I don't think it works.
Ulrich is the one that knows how to make us lighten the tone when we're getting a bit too angry, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Keeps us in check. Keeps us from turning into
that
Batman.
You said about making things a bit heavier. I remember when we spoke at Metal to Masses, you started saying that some of the newer stuff was a bit more like new metal-y, and we joked about being new punk. Now that so, which yeah, I do look forward to hearing this newer stuff, because I mean, like, yeah, my musical interest is everywhere. Yeah, I still dabble in pop punk, and I'm listening to death metal as well. It's sort of like, you know, it's everything in between as well. So
I think music's just all depending on the situation. Like if you're, I mean, like I say, I find like most of the time I'll listen to like the deathcore stuff. Be like if I'm in the gym, something like that. If I'm just chilling, having a smoke, I go to country. Or, I mean, I go like again, it's musicals. It's fucking. There's no limit to what I want to listen to. It all just literally depends on what I fancy. Because,
I've been listening to so much 90s hip hop lately because it feels right with the weather. It's just much better. I can't.
Yeah, that's a good point. So when the sun's out, as like playlist changes, I want something that's like, it's a bit like Real Big Fish, Less Than Jake, just something like a bit Scars. Fucking good at that point.
Yeah. I got a bit like I say, I can listen to anything in that bracket. However, I won't say it's a guilty pleasure, but anything 80s that sounds like it should be in the Karate Kid soundtrack, right?
Yeah, that's a good shout.
That seems to get me going as well. So
just have like a montage sort of song. Like.
Yeah. like can I see Danielson punching shit to this? Yes. Cool. I didn't play this. Yeah. Or actually, to be fair, it's quite. I mean, so I grew up listening to 80s stuff anyway, because like, you know, both rock and sort of poppy stuff anyway, because like, you know, parents and that. But like, you know, so like the amount of times I've been watching, like, I was watching like Cobra Kai or whatever, and I'm like, I really like that. What song's that again? I'll wait for the credits. Right, is that song? It's playlist now. It's just like, you know, and I've completely forgot what I had next lined up for that. Oh yeah, that's it. So like, when you said about sort of some stuff, you're right. Like Jack will come up with something and then like add the music to it. You haven't done the last couple of at least I didn't see it the last couple of shows that I saw you at. You'd write like you'd read like poetry and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that a similar sort of thing? Is it a case of like you write something, you go, well, okay, this one's a bit more. This one's definitely more poetic. I'll leave it on that side. Whereas this one could have music chucked on it.
Yeah. To be fair, it's one of the ones where, because like when we did like Innocence was one of the ones we've sort of we've done in every set. That started as just that was just a poem, and then we added it to the end of like one of the newer songs, but we just sort of added like, I'd say it's more ambiance sort of music in the background, because usually before it'd just be silent, but just add something to it. The only thing we've been told about that one is it builds up so much that everyone thinks of breakdowns at the end, but we're just like, nah, you're having the cold end and that's it. So we pissed a few people off for that one. There's a few of them will sort of match up quite nicely. Again, like it's more. I end up then with some poetry ones I have to like change so much around it to have it fit like the syllables in the song, or like how I'm actually like delivering it. But then some of them have just sort of clicked. Like Mars is for the Martians, which is like the newest one we've written. That was a poem I did, bloody hell, a couple of years ago. And then, like I say, the boys just started like jamming something, and I was just like, "Hang on a minute, this, I think this works to this." And then, that's
kind of Wet the Whistle in the same kind of way, didn't we?
Wet the Whistle was, you showed it. That was like one of the sort of very first practices you came to, and like you were like, "Oh, this is one thing I worked on," and I think I just sort of delivered the lines.
Well, you had those lyrics already, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then we just put it together, and it was like, wait, none of this needs changing. It all just goes like as it is.
I just remember Tyler's reaction more. He was just sort of like, I was like, yeah, something's sounding right here.
I think that was when I knew I really wanted to like stick around in the band as well, because it was all your guys' songs. And then I was like, oh, I have a song if you want to work on it. And then that happened. Like I'd played the instrumental I had. Jack was like, hold on, got the lyrics up, just rapped along to it, and it was like, oh, that's a new song. Like, awesome. Let's just go with that. And the vibe at the time, the instrumental, I did it with my friend Jamie. Shout out Jamie. Love that guy. My old housemate, who I went to uni with. I went down to London to visit him, and wrote it. Like we wrote that together on Substances, and just had a nice sunny afternoon just writing some music that had like no band or anything attached. And that was just like such a one-off, just writing a song just for the sake of writing it. Added like a funky little bass line at the end and thought, oh, how funny would it be to put some punk music to like all of this, and then brought it to the band, and it just worked. And like we've had a few times like that, like you say, Mars is for the Martians. Sometimes what's happening lyrically with you matches up with stuff that we're just churning out and like bringing into the room anyway, and it doesn't always work. Like there's
the amount of times we have
a
practice where we go, oh, remember that next week, you remember it? No. All right, next song.
That's happened quite a few times though, isn't it, really, where we bring something forward. I mean, Jungle Love was quite a similar scenario, because that was
I mean, False Kings was the same, I think.
I wrote that with a really good friend Liam, who was in previous band with, and we wrote that after a night out. So we were in the car, didn't drive the car, obviously. We just stopped there to drop stuff off and get a taxi. But when we were
He
there,
generally did, he's not just saying that.
and we were just playing guitar there and having a smoke for a little bit just before we ordered the taxi. And then it came up with a lot of the riffs there. We sort of pieced it together a bit, and then we were going to start another thing later down the line, but it just never materialized.
So we stole it.
Exactly. We did ask him first, obviously.
He said no, and then we just went doing it anyway.
Yeah, so that was kind of the blueprint, one of the first ones. But the same with Long Head, and NR3 was the same as well. That was not out yet, but there's been a few times where we've brought it forward and kind of things have just kind of either tied in perfectly with something you've already got, or it's like Long Head, you're like, oh, I can write this really quickly because I'm really pissed off about how late you are all the time.
I think when we had like because obviously it was before I sort of did vocals and I was bass, it was just the thing of like we didn't have a vocalist, so we had like Jungle Love ready to go, and I was like, I'm just gonna write to it because it was like nothing else happening with it, so I was like, I might just see how it goes, and because it was a bit about like like you say, it was leaving Waterfront, and it's a bit around that sort of time of the going out situation. We sort of wrote it as a bit of like a reminiscence to when we used to do it. Because to be fair, after like the lockdown bit, that was very much like just pubs after that. I was like, couldn't think of anything worse than going clubbing nowadays. So it was like, just having a bit of like looking back and being like, fuck, I couldn't do that anymore, which is like the sort of gist of the song, and just certain things we used to get up to. Like, I mean, I have one on there about me just falling down the stairs. And I fell through the fire exit, and then like, I think if anyone goes to Waterfront, there's a really mean looking security guard, and he comes storming over, and I was just like, shit, sorry, and then he was just really happy and smiling. He was like, no, you're all right, mate, come on in. It's just like any like little story of anything like that, really. Like same with like things like NR3. It's all to do with places we've done. Like, I mean, Wet the Whistle as well. That's basically about Mischief and us going there. The first EP feels really like reminiscent on us being like reprobates and that sort of thing. That's the word. But that's basically the gist of reminiscent on that. Plus, that was a bit Super Hands mixed into Wet the Whistle. But
we basically leave the lyrics to Jack, and then we come up with music based on what the vibe is from there.
Because I'm trying to remember, like, a lot of these ones. I mean, me and Elric did like Burning Love, like round his. He just got a guitar and just came up with this quite chilled. Riff in comparison to a lot of them, and then I told him, it's a song about chlamydia. I was like,
but that's why it sounds nasty. It's like nasty guitar riff to go with a nasty subject. Like it's got that dissonance in it. Whereas
it's got sting to it.
Go put that in there. Whereas you don't need that in a song that's about like celebrating how much you love like your local community. That one's more upbeat and happy sounding. And it wouldn't feel right to just put those lyrics with like heavy riffs or something. So that's kind of what we go with. Sometimes if we figure out the vibe and then we build based on that, like, okay, how are we feeling? Like, what are we trying to communicate here? Okay, cool. Like energy, movement, right? Let's turn up the tempo. Let's get it all up. Get the drums sweating. And if not, we like to make sure that we're all 5 parts of like sending the same message out like in a song. I
I was
guess.
trying to think about how I'm gonna picture it live. Like,
Yeah.
what exactly? Like, I'd really imagine I'd want the audience to be doing. Like, I mean, Take a Hike is like, it's a 30-second song we wrote, and I was just like, this just has like circle pit energy, because it's like, it's 30 seconds. You just want to see people going in a circle. Beat Beat was like, I was like, I really want something with a wall of death. So we just had this bit at the end where we were like, right, how can we get this? And yeah, it's gone down very well. Apart from one show where we were all out of time, we all looked like, what's going on? Reload it.
Crowd just did it anyway.
Yeah, they got stuck in.
They don't know what's going on, but they're here for it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Been lucky there. Everyone sort of seems to really get really stuck in when they come and see us. So yeah, I'm very thankful for the Norwich a lot and people who turn up, especially people who came to the headline show. Mad respect.
I unfortunately missed that. I've spent a lot of money I haven't had to go over there for Metal to the Masses this year, and like I was like, I really want to go there, but it's like I fucking.
It's a bit long. Don't worry.
Bill,
we remember it though.
There's this horrible
Too much
bastard
local
called
music.
Bill that keeps taking my money. It's like,
To be fair, I was really sad, didn't I? Because I'll be honest, I think we were all absolutely shot to shit the next day.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we saw Knock for Six on the first heat, and I mean, yeah, they I'll be honest, they were my absolute favourites. I absolutely fucking loved that band. I wouldn't have seen them if not. And obviously, like people like Isaac and Nihilist and that again, it was such a fucking heavy night. I was like, I wish I wasn't so old. I'm only 30 as well. It's terrible me saying, but
Not even
Ow.
the oldest one on the sofa.
I'm closer to the other end of that.
Oh man, to be fair, mine was just, I think it was we're very much used to being like the opening band. So when we decided to put ourselves on at 9:45, trying to like have that like crash off after we played. I mean, we were eating. I got a lovely person to make us a cake for after the show, and we come back and had a cup of tea, sliced cake at about 2:30 in the morning. Like, that's what I don't feel like we're your traditional rock stars here. We're like, yeah, let's have a cup of tea, sliced cake, good bed. Yeah.
Yeah. Backstage at Guns N' Roses thing. There's all those lines and drinks and whatnot and everything. You guys are like, nah, Tetley and Mr. Kipling, that'll do. That sort of.
Oh yeah. I'll be there because we got like, I think Tyler has his little traditions where he either seems to make a massive bolognese for after a gig or like a curry. We always get like a photo from him where he's just like there with his plate like that. It's about like 11 o'clock at night, and you're like, yeah, our boy's got Crohn's and he's playing with fire there.
So I mentioned about Melt to the Masses earlier. Last year when you played, like, you got through to the semi-finals. Obviously, being a punk band in a metal band's competition. How was that? Because I wasn't at that show, so I can't comment. But how was that for you guys on the fact like, hold on, metal band, and we're the ones going through?
Yeah, well, we were well received by everyone. I think it was, much as we like to say we're punk, I still think it's something that most people will like enjoy. I mean, again, I think that's that thing where I guess we kind of broke things up as well, obviously, because you got a lot of metal, so everyone's sort of very similar. And then we were just a bit of like we like to say we were the wild card, but unofficially. Yeah, I think mostly it was a case of people just got stuck in, really. I think once people just jump in a pit and they just start having fun with us, they realise what we're there for. We're not the most serious people. Like, if there ever has been a little slip up on stage, it's very much like well, that happened. Yeah. Let's fucking carry on. So yeah, I think that's sort of something. I only remember there being one bloke who didn't like us and decided to tell me on the way out. He just went, "You guys were shit." And I just went, "I know." Walked out. I wanted to find him after when we got through and be like, "What do you think now, bitch?"
I think the fun thing about punk, especially when you're with loads of metal bands around you, is that when everyone else is stressing so much about getting their performances like locked in, like really, really tight, and like every guitar solo is flawless, like every vocal harmony's there. You come on stage as a punk band and you go, honestly, if it doesn't sound horrendous, we've done a good job. And that's all there is. That's the bar there. You just do let's just play our songs. We'll jump around. If we mess them up, oh well.
Yeah.
No one can hear it anyway. If anyone, like, we're not here for anyone that's looking to see like crazy like virtuoso like instrumental ability like in every song
Big
kind
word,
of thing. We just we just want to get people jumping around and moving and having a good time and not thinking about the shit that ruins their lives like the rest of the week, and just
Until I
having-
write about it, and then I got to think about it.
yeah.
I
And
say
then
it quick enough so you haven't got to understand me. It's fine.
well, you remind them of what they're pissed off about, and then you tell them to run at each other, and then they get it all out their system, and it's like therapy.
Yeah, that's true.
Punk therapy, I like that.
Yeah, it's just fun being like upbeat and like just being like, look, let's just jump around and have a laugh. We're not going to be the heaviest band. We're not going to have the hardest breakdowns or the deepest gutturals or the craziest guitar solos or the most insane pedal rigs or like pedal boards or anything like that. But you will jump around a lot and you will sweat a lot and you might feel like you had a really good time afterwards. And
You
even if
might have say you get a lease on life. I'm gonna leave.
you can leave on life.
Yeah. Or as Eyes of an Eyeless said, release my wife. That's our new name from them. It's a cover band right there if you want it.
So yeah, no, so like last year, because that was first time I saw you guys. Well, actually, it was the first time I was doing any of this really. But like prior to talking to you guys were complimented like the fuck. Yeah, it was saying about how you guys were a surprise package and very well received and everything. So that was and like I said, like my own thing for punk wasn't really that much other than just pop punk. There was like there's a little bit of like hearing bits of like Rancid and NoFX and stuff. Back in school and that, but it was like one song like every like 3-4 months kind of thing, like whatever popped up on Scuzz or Kerrang at the time.
Yeah.
A lot of my mates were all into it, but it's like my access to music was Kerrang and Scuzz. So
I feel like we all listened to all of that kind of stuff growing up as well. Like you get into metal because bands like Slipknot are being put on those channels, and then you get into like pop punk because bands like Sum 41 and Blink-182 are on, and then you go further into whatever ones like do it for you more than the others. And
yeah, that's when you find some of these like mad like deathcore bands. Like I remember like finding being told about Slaughter to Prevail from someone years ago, and like he just told me these are crazy, and I just found like the YouTube stuff, and I was just like, this is what, again, it's all like word of mouth. A lot of these, it seems like it's like you'll know when you're ready, sort of thing. It's like Lorna Shore as well. As one I didn't know about until fucking I think a couple of years ago or so, and I was just like, obviously they're massive bands, but sometimes they just sort of they don't get pushed to you as much. I guess like you say, like certain radio stations they won't play it. I'd say most bands discover on tours and stuff like that where you end up going a bit earlier, catching a band you wouldn't have seen before. I mean that's what Let Live were in Shikari. I just went there. I was like, all right, I'm a massive fan of this band now. What the hell I've just seen has been insane.
But even that, Enter Shikari are definitely not a punk band like at all. But there's so much punk in their energy and in their like kind of delivery. It's not. It doesn't sound like punk, but it's got that kind of spirit of it, like with how passionately they're communicating what they're saying, and like they don't stand still on well, maybe they do now, but the ones that inspired me were of like all of their songs and videos where they're just jumping around like crazy and just it's that they had like very very metalcore sounding guitar riffs and screaming and really like over the top metalcore like synthesizer like lead parts, but we were all like listening, like growing up, like respectively, we were all listening to just as much of that as we were to all the like heavy metal bands, and I think a lot of us like filled our libraries with metal, but we don't realize how much punk we've been just growing up with and listening to like all the time, even if it's just like sprinkled in like pop punk and punk rock. And I
definitely feel like I had to go back to like a lot of say like older bands like that sort of paved the way for punk. So obviously I got into more like again, like we said, like people like Bob Vylan and that. It was just very much like again hearing stuff which was people have shit to say, like, and it's like there's a point to this, Doesn't I'm just always on where it's like if I feel like a song to me just feels like it was just filler as far as lyrically anyway. It's be like the maddest song, but I'm a bit like there's not really any substance to what you're on about. Doesn't, as I say, have to be serious. Like I say, I think if you can find it, it's why I like bands like Soft Play. Like again, they wrote fucking Mirror Muscles, and I was like, it's just a song about the gym, but it's like every part of it is something. If you go to the gym, you're like, I know exactly what he's getting out there. It's like something everybody does within it. It's like I think it's just something that you connect with. Obviously, I'm not I'm not really in the idea of writing songs about heartbreak and shit like that. Like, that's if you get many of them, that's basically what the chlamydia song is all about. That's the best you're getting from me. But yeah, I think that's the thing. Just having something where there's something said. It doesn't have to be serious, but for like bands like when I hear Bob Dylan, even like the song he did, Take That. Can't remember the song name. Terrible fan, me.
Take That.
No, yeah, no, I think I got the wrong song. It's basically it's a song just about healthy living and like eating well
Health
and
as well.
health as well.
Yeah,
So thanks,
yeah,
Scott.
great,
But yeah, something like that. It's like it doesn't have to. I think that's where I was sort of delving away from now, where it used to be more like again the first EP is a bit like the hey we're getting drunk, we're having fun, blah blah blah. Now we're not having fun. But no, I mean it sort of seems to be like taking myself away from as I've grown up. Like I don't want to be singing about shit I'm not doing just to think this has got to appease an audience. Like just because that's what the first lot of songs were. I'm like, nah. Like you're gonna get. I mean, you're gonna get a very anti-cocaine song at some point. I'm not gonna lie. That's where we're at. But yeah, I bet I say it's just having something to say. Like, even if it is about a shitty road in Norwich.
Nice. So just sticking with the Metal to the Masses part. So like I noticed this year there was a few more, not necessarily punk bands, but punk style bands.
Was it
Like
Hoof?
so like there's so
Oh, sorry, I think it was that. That was like I think that was Hoof we played with
Yeah.
on the first one.
yeah
They were fucking brilliant. I loved them. Like so I said to them after, I was like, I didn't actually I'm really bad for checking bands out. I like to just sort of go see them and
yeah
figure it out live, and that's what I did with them. And I just remember being there like, fucking hell, this is like I say, it was a bit different for what we've sort of sometimes usually seen at Metal to the Masses. And yeah, I think they were from
Colchester.
Yeah.
Essex. Yeah, they're part of the Essex lot had come over, and I don't know anybody that didn't enjoy them.
That drummer, I'm like, I think he smashed the fuck out of that drum kick. Like,
Yeah.
it's like he was battering them. But yeah, they're just. So I mean, you just see some just mad energy, and there's only I say there's only 3 people on stage, and to have that much of a sort of control over the room and fill the room with that sort of sound was incredible. Like I say again, wouldn't have known anything about a band like that if it weren't for sort of going to something playing a show like that.
Yeah. I tell you what, like, I've said this before. I still don't know a great deal about the punk world, but like I know that when the guy with the mohawk takes his shirt off, that's it. That's like going Super Saiyan sort of thing. There's an energy boost there, and that's exactly what happened there. I think he played the first song or two, and then he took his shirt off, and then it was just like, it's like some sort of evolution just popped up, and then he's absolutely mental. So yeah, that, like you say, they were absolutely brilliant. They were, and then down in the Ipswich one, they had the Winonas.
Okay.
Were they? I might have this wrong, but was that? Did they used to be called Dude Smell? Have I got that wrong? No, I know exactly who you're thinking of now. Actually, I think. Sorry,
I couldn't tell you if I'm honest, but it's 4-piece.
Yeah. Right.
But
How were they? I wasn't able to get to that one.
yeah, they were really good. I would say like because I'm not really versed in that world. It's like it's hard for me to go, oh yeah, they're really good because of blah blah blah. It was just like I bloody enjoyed them. That's the best you're gonna get. Out of
I think that's all there is to punk.
I don't think you have to explain like, oh, I enjoyed that, but it's just like you just feel it, don't you? You know if you're enjoying something or you're not. Like it's just you just react to it in a certain way.
The only thing that threw me out, which it wasn't until like I'd caught a little bit of a video of them beforehand because I was trying not to listen to anybody going in the Metal to the Masses because I like to hear people live for the first time if I've got an opportunity for it. Yeah. And I'd caught like maybe 30 second video earlier in the day. I thought that seemed all right. I'll just check that out later. And I briefly met them beforehand. I didn't get a chance to interview him until like after. And the frontman turns up. He's quite dressed up, nicely dressed, everything. And then they're about to go on stage. I blinked, and then he's on stage with a dress on and what's that bloody Russian hat with like the ears things that keep your head warm and everything. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I never actually know what the name was. When I was a kid, I always wanted one. I don't know what to do.
Right. That's all right. He like stood on stage and I was like, oh, okay. Just like completely caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Played the set. About 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes later, they all sorted. He's changed back over again. I was like,
Sounds like they made an impression.
yeah, actually, you know what? Right, from what little I know, him just switching to a dress is quite punk. So fair, okay. And then like that video, I saw that video again. I was like, he's wearing a dress and everything in that one as well. Okay, cool. All right. Just like I said, didn't think much of it. It just caught me off guard.
I mean, I'll be honest. After our Christmas show and I dressed up as Mariah Carey, it's very like freeing. Like so much like you get the
I thought you got really
breeze.
hot in that because it was all like velvety.
Oh, I'm
wasn't it?
sweaty no matter what. Like I say, half the time I play in just like a pair of shorts, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fucking, I'm sodden.
Maybe that's why he did it. Want more airflow.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. You just can get. I also did it so when I went to the drum kit, I could flash Tyler. I threw him off ran out free in that one.
Actually, speaking of Tyler and still on the subject of metal to the masses, he broke the drum kit in the semi-final.
Yeah, that's his thing.
That's definitely his thing.
That's actually his rider.
Yeah, it's just we need a whole new drum kit every show.
Exactly.
One drum kit for a drummer.
We would say, I do think though, that's also down to the dude from Hoof because they both were smashing the shit out of that kit. We put Dan to work, making him hold the kit as well.
Oh yeah, it was the heat. Yeah, it was the heat. Yeah, because the semi-final. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, seeing Dan sat up there just holding it because like,
yeah,
I think they tried to adjust it like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, that was just. I think one of the legs had just gone at that point. But to be fair, I think we haven't had much luck with kits. To be fair, I don't think. Like again, I think they either like so they go walkies on Tyler, or I mean, I when we did our headline show, I thought I'm gonna stand on it for this one. It's gonna be a really sick shot. I did it. I'm facing Tyler. I think he was because it was his kit, and he was looking at me. I was like, I think I broke his kit. Like, sorry. it looked cool though. So
The kit's fine.
the kit's fine. I just worried him a little bit. That was very early on in the set as well. If I'd have fucking gone through it, hey, show's over.
So what have you guys got planned at the minute then?
Ooh. Do we?
We got
Do we,
say the 2 shows we've got coming.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 gigs coming up. Both Norwich. We've got obviously the one we mentioned about Life Jacket at the Holloway on 15th of July. And then that was why we're getting confused because it's not that far away from when we're playing the Devo show at the Brickmakers.
Yeah, so we're Bricky's with MC Devo. Yeah, 3rd of July. That I'll be honest, that's just such a mad lineup. But obviously we've got Ed Cox is one I'm really excited to see because I've been listening to a lot of his stuff. Obviously, it's like clowncore. He plays the accordion. Yeah, it just feels like a very, very all over the place lineup. But I'm so fucking for it. They've got Red Method as well. There's like the main support. Yeah, they're just brutal metal, really, aren't they? Like just. And then Devo, which I'm like, how? It's that thing. If you'd have told me when I was like in high school and the Devo video of him kicking a pigeon, you tell me you're going to be playing a gig with that, man. I'll say, fuck off. No, I'm not. It's like, but it's happening.
Yeah, I've been so confused.
Yeah,
because it was 2006 that I heard of him.
Yeah,
I
didn't know he did music. I just thought it was a character thing. I only saw like the compilation stuff that came up on Facebook at the time. And I was like, oh, it's just a nutty individual.
Oh, we've got new t-shirts.
Oh yeah,
that's another thing. We were meant to have them ready for the EP show,
but we were slack.
We were longheads. But they we're gonna have some t-shirts up online pretty soon that have the like screen printed artwork that was done by Dumb Sellers for our EP artwork. So we're gonna get a shop online ASAP, because we now have 2 t-shirt designs, a hat. We've got stickers and badges and stuff.
Oh no, we actually sold out the first lot of t-shirts.
We should get some more.
Could do.
We could. We'll see.
We got to get recording before we do anything else. To be fair, that's like
Yeah, we are looking at that too.
Yeah.
We are like, we've got so many other songs because we slept on. Well, not slept on. We took so long to get this EP out. The other songs that we've written since then, we're already demoing them just to make sure that we keep the ball rolling, and like we're gonna look at putting out some more things of what we've been doing on stage the whole time.
I think that's the thing. I think pretty much after these 2 July shows, it's not like, I mean, we're never going to really turn down a gig if anyone wants to offer us something. Yeah, so we obviously there's still chances of other stuff there, but it's probably likelihood is working on something later on in the year. I think we're already sort of talking to a couple bands and venues for Norwich. So listen out basically, and we'll hopefully have something announced sort of down the line. But yeah, I think because we have drilled so many sort of shows, like we've tried to have at least one every month. Yeah, we've just been sort of drilling the set. So I think we're now that bit where we're like, right, we're going to sort of just try and focus on getting the next lot of songs sort of out, at least getting some singles out this year would be like really sick to sort of, you know, give people a bit more so they're not waiting like a year for songs in between. But yeah, I think like I said, we had a good little practice on Sunday where we're just sort of like just laying down some like sort of scratch tracks for sort of ready for Tyler to record his drums, and then everything else should be sort of in the background then, isn't it, as and when, just to
It feels
get
like
ready.
It feels like the first EP was us kind of finding our feet and figuring out what we were doing, and pretty much as soon as the build up to that coming out has happened, we're like, right, now we know what we're doing, so we're just going to keep going with it and keep like just working on the songs that we've got until we want them, until we're happy with the way that they sound, I think.
Yeah, like I say, we had a lot of time now with these shows where we sort of like feel like they've really, I would say perfected them live, but you know, we're very, very comfortable with these. So I think it's definitely a case of now with us now knowing how, especially like with a recording session, we had no idea what the fuck we were doing, and we were all. I remember I was ill as fuck, and then I think Tyler then just absolutely broke down on the last day, didn't he? So we were all like a bit worse for wear on that one. It was sort of like very much an overwhelming thing of, oh shit, we don't really know what to expect at this point, especially getting Tyler doing drumming for about 6 hours. I think that did just kill him off. We love you, Tyler. Don't break down, please.
Just 2 seconds. I've just realised I've got a basket of washing set in the middle of the shot the whole freaking time.
That's all right, mate.
Do we have to start again?
Yeah.
How was I start all over again because I'm an idiot?
You got to hang it up during the whole podcast, mate.
We are Lease On Life.
So, I was listening. I was like, crap! I forgot to move that. Well, here on Nerdic Pro and Feeling Blegh, technical difficulties are a must, and sometimes I am the technical difficulty. So, now back to it. I think that's quite a good point to wrap that part up. I was sort of like, I genuinely looking forward to what you've got coming next, because I even though it's a world I'm not into, I like what I hear. So like,
I say you're in it. You're in it. You're in that world. If you like what you hear, you're in it.
Yeah.
All you have to do to be part of it is just listen to it and enjoy it, and then you're part of that world.
Like I said, my musical taste is quite diverse anyway. Yes, it's mostly the alt scene anyway. But like, you know, I enjoy what I've heard, everything. I mean, the whole thing of like, I remember sort of conversations in school about, sort of like going punk and all that, and it was just pop punk. That was it. It was sort of, like when yeah, you guys were saying earlier about having like the emo cut and everything. I had that
Yeah.
and tried to turn that into a mohawk, and that really didn't work.
Is that why you
sort of
got into
thing.
that one? You couldn't do the mohawk.
Yeah.
I wanted to
No,
be a
but-
punk, but I couldn't get the mohawk right, so now I'm a metalhead.
To be fair, that was the last hairstyle before going bald. I was trying to get was a mohawk, and I was trying to do the Corey Taylor thing of like having it as a mullet while I was growing it. I just started seeing more and more on my forehead, and I went, "Nah, I've missed this opportunity. Can't have one." I had one when I was a kid, like trying to play football. My mum said it was just me running around, this thing flapping either side like that. Like,
Dom
yeah.
used to have a pretty sick mohawk. Dom used to have a massive mohawk when he was at school. He used to dye it like bright pink.
Yeah, I
And
was
just shave all the sides and had it like big and spiky.
Oh,
That's how I knew he was the right one for our artwork.
Yeah, shout out Dom
I
for
did.
that.
I did have a mohawk for a couple of years. It's sort of like it was just like just a rough thing in the middle sort of thing, and I did try and grow it out, but I get spiked up here. That was fine. I mean, this was like got about 12, 13 years ago now, so I was like 23. But I could not. I could spike up here a little bit. I could not get the middle, so I just had like two wedges like that, and a
Yeah.
gap in the middle.
I think that's the
So
thing. I'm like, it's just so much maintenance, something like that. It looks cool, but I'm like, fucking being bald with tattoos is the best fucking way forward. I can wake up and leave the house.
I'd argue that's more punk.
Yeah. And since I got rid of the beard as well, I'm like, oh, what an easy life I have.
It's just being yourself, isn't it? Being yourself is more punk. If it doesn't work for you, sticking up a mohawk all the time, why carry on? You know, if you're not feeling it, don't do it.
I'm all
the
about being
problem is, well, because I work in a
healthy.
food factory, it's like I couldn't exactly just have it up all the time and everything. I go to work, I've got to wear a hairnet, I've got to put safety cap on and everything. It just sort of like
Just rest it on top of it.
yeah, it just sort of sits about 4 inches above my head. Just sort of
Yeah.
that'd be all right. But yeah, as I say, I'm genuinely looking forward to what you've got coming out, and I hope I get a chance to get over and see you again very soon. Because
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I-
Hopefully, we'll
I-
be your way sooner rather than later.
sorry,
Hopefully, we'll be the ones that coming up your way.
that would make things a lot easier for me. So,
Where should we play? Where's the nearest venue?
well, there was a skate park that you played at last year. That was
Yeah,
hopefully they do something there again.
That would be so sick.
we'll try and get on that. We really loved playing Rampage. That was really sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as I say, like sort of wrap that a little bit up. So being part of Nerdic Pro, be a wrestling podcast, I gotta ask you gents, is that your thing at all? Was that your thing?
When I was a kid, yeah, it was like going back to the thing, where you like wrestling your mates on a trampoline sort of thing. Like we were all very much like, yeah, I'm trying to think of the era that it was. I think one of the last WrestleManias I remember was it was it's a really shit one to think back on it though, but it was the one where there was like Vince McMahon and Donald Trump fucking went against each other in some way. Like that just sticks out to me a little bit. Yeah, I was a bit like, yeah, looking back on that, I'd have been Vince McMahon fan for sure. But it was just that sort of era of. I think I got into it when I was playing the games. Sort of, I used to rent what it was like SmackDown versus Raw, like 2007 or something like that. I'd rent it from the library. Never got a book. It was just the game section. But I think that's how I really got into like wrestling growing up. And then yeah, like I say, the old trampoline wrestling's where one of you ends up going a bit too hard, and then you fall out with each other.
Do a double bounce and fly too high.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, I was just saying, I don't know. What about yourself?
I never really got into wrestling. I never knew where to watch it. I think if I knew how to watch it, I probably would have loved it as a kid.
I didn't really watch it. I had like a phase for like a year or two. I remember really liking Rey Mysterio, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
I always wanted the mask.
Yeah.
That's all
I'm
I
so
wanted.
far removed from it. I didn't even get the games. Like you got the games and you were into wrestling. I didn't even get the games, but I did get a magazine that was about video games that would
Yeah.
always have posters whenever there was a new WWE game out. So
Yeah.
I had like all these posters of like wrestlers on my walls that I never watched, never played
Yeah.
the games, no interest in. But I was like, free poster.
Because I think I'm thinking maybe start. Because I think I was I remember like getting figures back in the day. I
That's the only way I know who Rey
Yeah,
Mysterio is.
I
From
can't
those
really remember
posters. I was like, cool guy, mask poster.
I think one of the first things I was shown was one of the really, it was like the WWF days, and it was Undertaker versus Mankind on the Hell in the Cell. That was, I think, the first thing I got shown, and I was like, "Fuck me, this is crazy." It's the first bit of him just being thrown down off the top. You know, just like as a kid, you're just like, "How the hell did he survive?"
I guess we saw some of the wrestling at Download as well. I can't remember what year it was. Was it?
I was 15. That was because that was
15.
that wasn't when NXT did it yet. They obviously, I think they
It
do
might
it all
have-
now.
Might have been that, maybe
'Cause it-
16
we-
or 17
as
or
well,
something.
didn't we? That's where we saw NXT as well.
Yeah, that was like, I think they had that later down. I can't, because it used to be in the campsite, didn't it?
Yeah.
I remember the first night, and that was one of our mates who we were with. I got a bit too pissed, and like he was like, "Mate, you need to calm the fuck down." I went, "All right, I'll be chill." And then I saw the wrestling table. I was just like, "Wrestling!" And then he went, "Oh fuck off." He left me. I just made some friends with some random people there, and yeah, just watched some fucking wrestling when I was pissed. I was like, yeah, it's one of those I can sort of fully understand it when I'm had a bit of a drink. I'm like, yeah, it's a bit like obviously UFC and stuff like that. But like, it's just the primal instinct of. That's how I got knocked out, by the way. That's how I fight.
So when you said about Mankind Undertaker match, it just sort of, I just remember I was something back when I was a kid. So I must have been 11 or 12, like when I got into it, and we'd fuck around near the batting cages at school. And like, you know, when it wasn't cricket season, it was just bloody framework. Well, yeah, they put the nets up like when it got around summer of that. And yeah, you just remember climbing up on that crap, and sort of like, yeah, because you'd see like the steel cages or Hell in Cell matches, and sort of like, yeah, sort of
First one to
like,
escape, like climb out the top. Yeah.
not that they're that easy to climb up on, but yeah, sort of like, yeah. I just popped in my head so randomly.
I just remember like in like primary school, like when it's like I do think I was really into it as a kid, and I remember then sort of showing a few of like my mates, and then it got to the bit where you ended up like doing it in school, and I think immediately that got shut down because they don't you sort of like pretending to do all these moves.
I'm just imagining the teachers seeing like a little like 5-year-old fight club like happening. They're like, "What do we do? They're getting violent. They're so organized."
You
using a table.
you spend the first lot of it, you're practicing, you know, your entrance and that. You know, we'll build up to this. Yeah.
What are the kids doing? They're all right. Oh, they're just having a little. They're just having a little dance off. They're just showing off their moves, and then you look back out the window. Oh, he's on the roof. Get him off! Get him off!
That just makes me think of the South Park fucking episode where they all become wrestlers and they're all like proper like drama students for it. I'm like, that's how I think I looked when I did it as a kid. I was just like, right, places, people. I want to be here.
It's choreography.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely had a place in my childhood. To be fair, I think. Yeah, my sister as well. She got really into that as well. I think as well, it was one of the big parts was the soundtracks to the games as well. Like Papa Roach, I discovered through the I don't know whether they had the Raw theme song at one point.
Yeah,
and then I mean, 3
Yeah.
Days Grace was just on every fucking. I think every song. Is it X? That album was on that game. Yeah,
That's it.
I think I discovered so much music.
They did
on
have
that
good
game.
soundtracks. I used to play those video games with my friends on like camping holidays and stuff, and I didn't know who anyone was, but I just really loved the music that was playing
Yeah.
the whole time it was all going on. It was great. It's like Tony Hawk's soundtrack, like
Yeah.
same kind of vibe.
Do you know what? The last thing I did, I tried watching. I started watching WrestleMania this year because it just appeared on Netflix. I was like, oh fuck, I could watch this. I was a bit pissed off because the first fight was like Logan Paul and I Show Speed, and I was just like, I wanted to see like some proper wrestlers.
Actual wrestlers.
Yeah, I see Logan Paul doing something, but I'm not. You know.
See, the problem is with it being WrestleMania, they've always had like a celebrity match. So it's like, and as much as I effed and blinded when when Logan Paul got signed, I can't deny how quick he's took to it. He really has took to it like a duck to water.
I mean, he is a proper fucking. I'll give him that. He is a proper fucking athlete, and like he sort of suits the whole look. I mean, he's like fucking 6 foot, and he's a British shithouse. It's like you sort of fit that, and then I mean, I have seen videos of him, jumping off ropes and stuff. I was just very much of that thing. I was like, I mainly wanted to just see if I knew anybody like anymore because it's been so long since I've seen it. I think John Cena obviously came out to introduce it, and that was sort of it. And I was like, obviously, no, he's retired and everything. So it's like one of the sort of people I remember first ever watching fight. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know who's still in it, to be honest, man. Like,
Rhea Ripley. That's it.
who else? You got like fucking Paige, didn't you, from Norwich? Like, is she still in it?
Is there a film?
She's just come back, so she'd left like a
Yeah.
few years ago. Had a stint at AEW, but she's just come back to WWE.
Yeah, because I saw I saw a video come up randomly of someone bumped into her in Norwich. I was like, I don't know whether that was like, she finished or not, but like I say, that
Yeah,
was cool. I just remember watching the
she
fight
actually
with my
came back
family.
at Mania. So
She did. Oh, sick. Yeah, because I remember I think it was the fight with my family, and obviously you just watch it because you're like, hey, it's Norwich. I know, but they're up on they do the like Ketts Hilly run bit, and I think they're on the market at one point. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That little Easter egg, I've been there. But yeah, like I say, I haven't really like kept up to date. I think as I sort of got older, I got a bit more into like the sort of like martial arts side of things of like UFC. I think again that was purely from the games as well that I think first got me into UFC. Because I didn't know I didn't know any of the fighters that I was using, and then I think I started then going on YouTube, finding the odd clips, and yeah, sort of fell in love with that afterwards. But yeah, I'll definitely say at one point wrestling was a big part of like my childhood. Like WrestleManias and that. That was as well. It was like we had to buy the DVDs of like the previous events, like Summer Slams and stuff like that. I remember favorite one. Love the Hardy Boys. They were fucking sick. They were probably my two favorite that I remember watching a lot. Like the old
yeah,
fucking
that's my
ladder.
all-time favorite
Fucking,
tag team. So
yeah, I always remember that one where he does the bit where I can't remember who they were against, but they did the thing where it's like jumped on the ladder, comes up, and it completely fucked up this dude's face. Like, obviously beyond like, it's fake. It was like, no, that fucking hit him straight in the face. Like that was. I just remember Clara everywhere after that one. I was like, ooh.
I would, I've said to you, Jack, before. Yeah, I used to do MMA and kickbox as well myself. I only trained those. I've only fought in boxing, but like, I used to sort of like get trained. I'd be at whatever class it was, and wrestling would get brought up, and it's fucking fake shit. And I was like, yeah, but if you can tell me how to fake fall off a 25-foot ladder through 3 tables and 2 of them are on fire and the third one's wrapped in barbed wire, if you can tell me how to fake fall through that, I'll go do it.
Yeah, there's always that thing you do go. Obviously, a lot of it's like performative, but there'll be that bit. Where like, there are bits where you're like, you got to take a bit of a knock there, like especially when you see the people who are like fucking bounce off the ropes, jump out, land on a load of people. It's like, I mean, it's bad enough you fucking. Well, like say in football, you fucking used to like nudge into someone, you'd be like, yeah, you're gonna pick up a few fucking knocks. And the ones where there's like the fucking like thumbtacks, they like fall on them and that. You're like, yeah, they're in their skin. It's like you can't they don't fake that one too much. But yeah, I think I'd say it was like it was the whole sort of show of everything, especially like say when like WrestleMania come around, you'd have like fucking all mad entrances and stuff like that. It was always just like very captivating. And then like you say, with the fighting stuff, just got a bit more into that down the line. And then I'll be honest, I sort of look at that nowadays and I go, oh, it's a bit fucking like they're all WWE sort of like personalities outside of the ring. So it all goes hand in hand. It's like you want to sell a fight, you got to fucking talk like that.
Yeah. Well, you think like you had Ali doing that back in the day anyway, and it's sort of like after that, there's a large era of like selling the fight was I am going to knock him out. He is going to. I mean, it was just quite not generic, but it wasn't really. So you'd have the odd people who like you tell truly hated each other, but like it was just a case of like A and B fucking hate each other, and you could sell that fight like that. But when A was fighting C, it was just a title match or just a number 1 contenders match or a fight or something. Whereas like when you have like Conor McGregor turn up sort of like what 10-12 years ago on the UFC, right? Where I'm not saying he was acting like the WWE guys, but like not on purpose.
You'd watch him outside. Like I say, you'd watch every press conference because it's like again, it's way of hyping up the fans. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like I say, it was all sort of, you see people now pick it up, and there's some you go, that's fucking goofy as fuck. Like, it just doesn't work. And you get the real ones where you're like, nah, they're either very fucking quick witted, or like, you know, they're just, yeah, they'll just be very, yeah, like I say, they just end up, you can just tell there's a proper rivalry there, and that's what sells. Because, I mean, going back to that one, I remember fucking when McGregor sort of come back and he was against Poirier, and they were very chummy on like all of that one. It was a bit like, I don't think anyone's here for this, unfortunately. Like, it's cool to see the respect, but you do go, you like a little bit of theatre to it. Like,
Poirier, was that the fight he broke his leg in?
I think, yeah, I think it was the second. It was the second fight they had. Yeah, because then they had their third fight and they hated each other again. I remember, but so it was a bit more like it felt like there was something there. But yeah, I feel like you sort of got to have it a little bit in that. But you know, WWE, you can tell that that's the influence. Like they're taught to build fights up like that. I mean,
Yeah.
fucking hell, back in the day, you got the fucking Rock in that, fucking absolutely amping a crowd up. It's like you know, that's how you're gonna get fans and stuff like that.
It's all showmanship, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I tell you what, one of the best guys to do that sort of thing is MJF over at AEW. He can cut promos and make you absolutely fall in love with him. He's like one of the best heels like in modern wrestling, right?
Yeah.
He can make you go like, you know what, this is my guy, and then right at the end of his promo, he will say the cuntiest thing he can think of, right? And that's how I go, fuck you. It's I mean, and like, there's not a lot of people that could do that, you know.
I suppose it's like you go on a bit of it, especially when you're like fans. You're like journey. You sort of go on the journey with them, and you. I mean, like probably most people. But I will be honest, McGregor's was one of the biggest reasons I got into MMA back in the day. Not really so much nowadays, but it's like again, you have this thing where you sort of you see what someone's like coming up, I guess. And then again, I think that's just a thing with being English, though. You build someone up, and then when they're there, you're like, nah, now we got to knock them down. Like, I just feel like that's how it always goes. But
We love an underdog.
yeah, we love an underdog until they make it, and then we're like, nah, fuck you.
We love a David and Goliath so much that when David becomes Goliath, we need another David to support.
Okay. So I just want to. We're talking about McGregor, and apparently McGregor's. I just put a Bleacher Report that apparently McGregor's announced a potential fight for next year.
It's meant to be against fucking Max Holloway, isn't he? I thought that's. I think that's already been announced.
Yeah, against Max. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very interested in that one because I'm like, Max has been very active and I mean, you know, been great. I think obviously the last one was his loss against Taporia, and my worry there is he got fucking sparked, and it's like it's a bit like the Volkanovski sort of situation, a bit like they're like so good for so long, and I seem like they get caught once, and then it's like you notice it a bit more start happening. And I mean, as much as McGregor hasn't fought, we all know the fucking power that is in that left hand, and I could easily just shut him down. I want Max to win more than anything, but
at the same time, though, I mean, they did fight before, and McGregor did beat Max, but Max was very inexperienced, and Max, after that, Max went on that big old run and was absolute monster
as well, weren't it?
Yeah.
So
welterweight,
I'm interested to see what he's going to be like, because I'm like, I can't see Max being that big as a welterweight. Like, I feel like he is probably maybe naturally that. I mean, nowadays I'm like, I mean, I see McGregor just a welterweight because he probably can't be bothered to cut weight anymore. I'm a bit like, he ain't really got to fucking worry with his money, has he?
Unless they do some sort of fancy thing where it's like, oh, we'll fight at like 160 or something like that. Sort of, a little bit of a compromise.
It'd be interesting to see. Like I say, I don't. It's one of the ones I've sort of like lost a bit of love with it, but only because of where they're going with it. But like, I'll still sort of keep an eye out for a fair few fighters. I mean, I'm always still one of the ones where I was so hoping Tom Aspinall was going to, get like the proper chance. But obviously, the Cyril Gane fucking fight didn't really go very well with the eye pokes, and then he just seems to have been dropped. And I'm like, I really was hoping we were going to get that fucking heavyweight UFC English champ. Like, just would have been so cool to see. And I think he seems like such a cool bloke as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got like Paddy the Baddie as well. Fucking, I think the guy's fucking hilarious as well.
I think he's one of the most realist people. Like, period, because like he just don't give a shit. Like, you know, I guarantee you speak to nearly any fighter, like outside of fighting it, and they're like, I train 6 days a week, I do this, I do that, blah blah blah, and then that way I'm ready all the time. Whereas he's like, if I'm not training, I eat because I like food. Yeah.
The old Paddy days where he used to just balloon up. My God, I was like, I watch some of his YouTube stuff, and I'll just be like, it's a mad how much he actually puts away. Like, you sort of think, you probably want to pig out after a fight. I'm like, that's a fucking pig out. Like, I'd love to see if I could, I wouldn't want to try and hang with him in the ring, but in a restaurant, we can talk. So, yeah, like I say, it's interesting to see is how it's going with fighters and champs at the moment. We're having that Leon Murphy, I think he's a Manchester fighter. He's featherweight, and I was like, really, he was sort of, I think he was on the cusp of getting the belt. I think unfortunately he lost his last fight, but yeah, it's just cool. I just like that thing of like seeing even like people I used to train with, and that it's just cool seeing certain people who are really branching into it now. There's been a few lads who have ended up like I've never really like some of these lads I'm trained with, but you just know them. It's like it's Norwich, innit? You just sort of know everyone around at other gyms, and I've seen people who have gone into like the one championship. Got one lad who's in Cage Warriors who I used to train. I'll be honest, there's one lad in Cage Warriors is the reason I don't really train anymore. He made me realise I was like, this is a guy that lives and breathes this. I was like, no, I like this, but I'm not giving up my life, unfortunately, which most of these fighters do, which is fucking great on them. But I like food. Yeah, that's probably it. To be honest, I'm just a fat fuck.
What about you two gents? You into martial arts at all, or?
I mean, I did karate when I was 11, but that was I don't know. I never got into like watching wrestling or anything like UFC or anything. I thought karate was mainly because I was always playing the Tekken games when I was a kid, like just PlayStation 1 fighting games all the time, and learning about all the different fighting styles on there. And I was like, "Oh, what one can I do?" And that was a karate place, and it was cool. But every week I went, there'd be a new person join, and we'd go through the lesson 1 stuff like over and over, and I was just like getting too fed up with it, and I ended up just spending more time playing guitar instead.
Yeah. To be fair, I think that one of the things that's with you, Score, unfortunately for you, when I was fighting.
I was waiting to say it.
Yeah. Every time I'd learn something new in jiu-jitsu, I'd come home and I'd be like, Score, let me show you what I've learned.
I've been on this site for just like, really? Right now?
Yeah, but I'd be like, so come into my guard.
Oh my God, I wish I could have been a fly on the wall for that. You were going so ham with MMA and the UFC, and I'm now knowing that Scorer had to be like, "Oh, what have you learned today, Jack?"
Oh no, he's coming out the door again.
Yeah, put my arm flat. All right, pick me up like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I need a pillow after this?
Next time he misses a gig, you need one of them grappling dummies with his face on next time.
Yeah,
we got the face.
I was gonna say, I'll just fight this.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
I tell you what, I absolutely love doing jiu-jitsu and grappling.
So what was that, mate?
I love doing jiu-jitsu and grappling. I was just shite at it. Let me punch and kick stuff. I wasn't terrible, but like grappling, I loved it. I was so bad at it.
I always have that. It was that really like the most humbling thing doing the grappling, because I'd always end up like, I thought I was doing really well, and then it'd be that thing like you'd meet a blue belt and you go, oh shit, there's this many levels to this stuff, where it'd be like, I remember one lad, literally, I rolled with him. It was like 2-minute round. He made me tap out 5 times. I remember getting like a bit arsey at the end. I was like, fuck, I can't listen. He just went, dude, I roll with people at this other gym and they do the exact same. It's just, this is how we learn. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Like, so the only way you're gonna fucking learn anything in that is just you're gonna have to tap and all that. So there's always something bigger and badder out there. Sometimes smaller and badder, but there's just people who fucking train their whole lives for it. They just fucking respect to them, because my God, some people are ridiculous at it.
That's the thing with it being competitive, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
There are people that are really, really, really like living and breathing this because that's what they want to do with their entire lives.
Yeah.
So if you are like a bit of a part-timer
Yeah.
and you just do it for a hobby, if you ever cross paths, oh boy.
Yeah. Well, that's what I say. There's a guy called Tarek Pell who, I mean, he's a Cage Warriors fighter. And yeah, I was training with him. He was taking me to his gym for a bit. I was still enjoying it, but it was just very much like that thing where I was just like people say, it's like you play football, play basketball, you don't really play fight. Like it's someone's
Yeah.
trying to take your head off. So it was that thing of I was a bit like, I am going to come. I mean, it did sort of happen. I came across someone who literally was, I mean, fucking shit hot fighter. I remember like once I actually like did a bit of research on him. I mean, I found pictures of him in like Thailand from like 10 years ago. I was like, oh, this guy's been like training for a long time. And I'll be honest, the first fucking time we connected, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is like a different world. Like when you meet certain people like this, I mean, all respect, because I mean, afterwards, like, it's the funny thing with that, you twat each other, and then you're literally like, mate, it's fucking pleasure to meet you. Like, you know, all the best on your journey and all that. You always end up just have that bit where you're just like, there's that sportsmanship there, like especially sort of, you know, with the amateur stuff. I'm like, I'll be honest, if I saw someone with a massive ego at that, I'll be like, you know, you're a dickhead. Like, just remember where you are. I'm like, there's always going to be someone out there that's probably fucking take your head off. But yeah, most of the time with it, I'm always like, I've just met so many fucking good people through it. I mean, people from all walks of life, really. Like, yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it was a good time. But I'm happier in a band now. I'm not gonna lie.
So you just say about like either side of the bell and that, right? I the amount of times we'd all be like chat about bloody new game just come out on the Xbox or whatever. We chat about ding, knock shit out of each other. Ding,
Yeah.
so I'll probably have an hour and out after I get home, have a shower, blah blah. Ding, knock shit out of each other. Ding, yeah. We'll play it on the weekend, mate. Yeah, ding, knock shit out of each other. Just sort of like
Yes.
sort of like that.
Yeah.
It's just I miss doing it. I really do.
There's part of me that does miss it a lot, but it's very much like a time. I think I like still doing like a bit of pad work. Like that's more like fitness, and it's just, you know, it's always fun to like hit a punch bag. So the funnest way I think to do cardio, but yeah, it's just I mean, I think one of the last times I went back to sparring, I obviously realised as well, you got this like certain new age group that have been doing this since they were like kids. And I think there was one, he was like, I think he was about 18 years old, one of the lads. My God, he put me on my ass so many times with like a teep kick. I was just like, and he's just starting. Like that's sort of where I go. I'm just like, it's mad to see what, you know, some people are already able to do in that sport. I say, I'm just glad I did it. Like it was another thing I was always just wanting to have a go at, and you know, managed to. I did it through like the charity events at the start, and then like, you know, had like a couple amateur fights. I'm 1-1. Call it that.
Oh yeah.
You got more ones than I have. I'm 0 for 2 boxing, so.
Oh, and kickboxing, I'm 0-1. We don't talk about that one. Yeah, no, we all had its place, though. Like I say, I mean, that's like I say, the reason it's led to the band and all things like that. So it was a good part of my life, to be honest.
Yeah. Right. So we'll sum that bit up just a little bit there.
So I stole all that from you. So
we didn't really have anything to contribute, to be honest.
You guys like martial arts? We watched Power Rangers as kids. That's about it. That's
Yeah, I love that. So here for Power Rangers. What was your favourite one?
my Mighty Morphin. That's my favourite.
Mighty Morphin.
OG one, because like I mean I was 5, 4, like
Oh yeah.
OG. Oh wait, hold on. When did the film come out? 93, 94. So yeah, I remember about 4 or 5 when that 3 or 4 when that came out. So.
Sick.
Yeah. So yeah. It just stopped being. They just stole it from it being Super Saiyan to like now it's Power Rangers now. Yeah. We'll just reshoot all the out of outfits stuff. Like I started several years ago now, but both my kids were little. They were teenagers now, but like I was watching Power Rangers with them, and watching them go from Angel Grove to like they're fighting some werewolf monster and that. And when he picks up a Nissan Sunny that's got a Tokyo number plate on it and then lobs it, you're like, there we go. I've finally noticed it. I finally noticed it when it's now Japan. Yeah. But that actually kind of leads into our next bit. Sorry?
I was just going to say, I've always wondered what it's like being in those outfits with the skyscrapers all around you and having the fights like in slow-mo and like all the explosions and everything. It looks sick.
I mean, like, it's similar sort of thing as like the old kaiju movies and that, and it was like, you know, the guy in the Godzilla suit and the Mothra suit, yeah, like, but yeah,
I think more films need that shit. Fuck CGI, or especially fucking if they put AI in it. I'm just like, yeah, go back to. I see videos come up from like old, like I think like 80s horror films. I go, yeah, it looks really sort of like it's fake, but you go, so much more went into making that scene. I mean, it's more like I fucking like the Terrifier stuff. It's like practical effects. Like anything that's a bit more like
bring back prosthetics.
Yeah, like so, I'd love to see that for more of these things. Godzilla would be a bit of a mad one now because someone goes it's a fucking suit, but I'm all for that.
I would be so here for it.
Yeah. Music.
Well, I mean, they did that sort of thing with Jurassic Park, didn't they? They went back to the animatronics and stuff for certain things.
Ah, sick. Yeah, it's cool to hear because I'm like just I think it adds so much more. I think that's what that like Hail Mary. I think it was. I never saw it, but they made absolutely every set, and I was like, yes, like,
yeah.
As much as it might be like, oh yeah, you might not be able to know it as much, but like, just to be fair, just you can. A bit like certain films, which like what was it, Need for Speed, because they did all the actual stunts with cars and that. I was like,
Not Too Fast.
No,
Fast and Furious.
Yeah, when they went to space and like really did that. I never watched that one, but I heard that and I went, nah, I'm not watching Fast and Furious. But no, I mean, there's so much more in having things actually real.
Yeah,
you know, Godzilla maybe was real.
Maybe he still is.
Yeah. You just see the face in the chest plate of monster.
I've always been a big fan of the film The Thing for the fact that everything in that film is like prosthetics. There's no CGI in the original at all. And when you go back and watch it and you think, maybe that? No, none of it. They literally hired a guy to play a character that appeared fully bodied, fully like able-bodied. Halfway through the film, he goes to use a defibrillator on someone, and they've been infected by the alien. The stomach opens up, bites his arms off, and he's like this at the elbows. They hired a guy that never had hands in the first place to play a character that had hands for half a film, so that when the monster bites off his hands, it's actually biting off his hand. That's what kind of dedication I want to see from cinema now.
Yeah, I think it's a fucking great idea.
Oh, that's pretty. I was gonna say that. I remember my dad told me about it. He was like, "That scared the shit out of you. That scared the shit out of you." I found it once. I must have been about 17 or 18. I found it on the telly. It's like started at like 11 o'clock at night, and the only bit that scared the shit out of me is like they're testing everyone's blood. They got their blood in the little petri discs. Dish that, and they're putting a bit of hot wire in it or whatever it was.
Yeah, it explodes, doesn't it?
When they get to the sample that is the infected one, it shoots. Yeah, all right. The only reason that scared the shit out of me is because I was nodding off as that happened.
I hate that we watch like a horror and then you fucking something that's happening. Like, well, there's something me and Lola were watching. I can't remember, something on Netflix, and it was like we watched it way too late, and it ended up being like, oh, nodding off, and then it was just like the end of the film was just people screaming for no reason, kept waking up to screams. Like, what is going on? Like, I should just turned it off, but we like, nah, keep watching, fall asleep. Yeah.
I made everyone jump in theatre once when I went to see the second Paranormal Activity because I turned my phone off. I was a teenager at the time, and I went with my girlfriend at the time, who my mum tried calling me while the film was on, couldn't get a hold of me, didn't know I was seeing a film, called my girlfriend at the time. It was like one of those ringtones that sounds like an old school, like rotary phone, and it was so loud, and it was at such a quiet part of the movie that the whole cinema was like jumping at it. It made me really laugh.
Probably scarier than most of the films, man.
Probably.
So yeah, like when we were led on to the Power Ranger stage, that's sort of leading off to our next bit. So what gets you nerds on?
What gets our nerds on?
Yeah, I mean, I would say probably not nowadays as much, but I mean, Marvel me and you used to literally just sit like that. We any time someone was released, it was like they release some films. Same with thingy. Look into every little deep dive on Easter eggs that you can find. Yeah, that's probably like the sort of the most thing I nerded out to and really like looked into for everything. Because I'll be honest, when it comes to like a lot of the films and stuff, I watched them all in a really stupid order. I watched Endgame before Infinity War, so I was in the cinema and like, yeah, I sat there, I was like, I don't know what the fuck's happened, but I'm like, it's a great film still, but I was just very much like, and then I watched Infinity War, and I went, it all makes sense now. It's a fucking great way of watching films. Watch them backwards.
You watch a film with time travel in it in the wrong sequel order.
Yeah,
I
well,
love that.
there was a few bits in that as well that I was like, I remember like I hadn't seen a few films. I remember like I think I stopped when I was in like high school. I stopped at Guardians of the Galaxy because I didn't think it was like a real film. I saw like, basically I saw the dude from Step Brothers and I went, nah, that's not serious.
Oh,
And I realised that the whole point of some of it is to be funny. I went, oh wait, no, this is all right. But yeah, like I say, like probably most people, Marvel's fucking dropped off a little bit, so I haven't been as into it. But
I'm just such a huge Spider-Man fan that it's keeping
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
It's keeping me tied
Yeah.
in. Like I'm so fed up of Marvel being
Yeah.
rubbish now, but they're still putting out Spider-Man movies, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay attention.
fucking Punisher's in it as well. I'm like, I can't wait to see how the hell this is
Yeah,
gonna go.
Exactly. If they drop
Um,
Spider-Man, I'm done. If,
Whole list of characters as well. There's gonna be loads of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's basically I would say I'm probably the same. Spider-Man was like one of the first films really remember
Yeah.
getting on VHS and just binging it all the time.
Same. I watched that Tobey Maguire one like so many times.
Though there's only one bit that it kind of got ruined for me at one point when someone said, if you ever feel stupid, remember that the Green Goblin knocked Spider-Man out and didn't think about taking his mask off. Like when he did it was like, yeah, that could have really just. Oh, it's him. Yeah, all right. Like, just it completely ruined that part for me. Not emo.
To be fair though,
Spider-Man,
in the
but-
cartoon they did the same sort of thing. He'd get knocked out and just like they left his mask on until like he's like stuck in somebody thing, and then they reveal
like,
the
yeah.
master plan and whatnot, and like no one again no one thought,
Just have a
oh
look.
damn.
That's so true.
I've seen a clip of I don't watch anything DC at all, but I keep getting on my like Instagram. There's a bit where someone like captures Batman for the Joker, and then they're like, look, aren't you impressed with me? Like I've done this, like I've got the Batman, like how great is this? And we can finally find out who he is. And then he takes the mask off and he's just like infuriated at him.
Oh, yeah,
because
I
he's
think
like,
I've seen
now
that.
you've ruined the one fun thing that I've got going for me.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, maybe that's why they do. Maybe they do. I don't know. But I could also imagine them taking this mask off and being, oh, it's some dude. Like it's just who are you gonna? It's
Oh
Bruce
my
Wayne.
God,
It's like it's
yeah.
multi-billionaire Bruce Wayne. Oh my god, he's Batman. Peter Parker. It's like it's a kid. It's
Right.
a fucking teenager.
Just to go back to the Conor McGregor thing earlier. Who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, literally.
Could be anyone.
Yeah, you think of all these scenes, you're like, I could have figured this out ages ago.
I suppose where the Green Goblin was concerned is because he was, Peter was his son's best mate. It was sort of like that would have been too much of a there's too much of a connection there. Whereas like if he was fighting Rhino or something like that, or it'd be a bit more like, oh, I don't know who that guy is, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because even like with Doc Ock, he'd met him when he was at college and that, hadn't he? So sort of like, again there was a connection there. So I think I suppose it's whoever wrote its way of trying to keep them separate.
Yeah. I think I just remember like back to like, was it No Way Home was the last one when it was the three Spider-Man all together. Yeah. I think I would say it was just so many bits. I mean, it's the bit where he's just like, I'm somewhat of a scientist too. Like it's like all them bits, like the little like callbacks to everything. It's like I don't think it was overdone, but it was done right in that film was fucking perfection to me. I absolutely loved that film.
Yeah.
But, like so
I've seen theories that is it Ned's grandma that they're at their
it's
house?
the little girl from the first film, but
yeah.
they just have that little wave together. Hi, like that. That's it.
I like that. It's just silly and it's cute. I'm always gonna love Spider-Man. He's the best.
I mean, I'm just on the thing of like, I'm so interested to see where it all goes now with like fucking Doctor Doom and that. Honestly, I don't know. Part of me feels like most of Marvel dropped off because of the Kang situation. I'm a bit like, I think they had so much
sure.
going towards that once fucking the actor was an absolute cunt, they had to write him out. It's like they had to sort of now try and pick up pink places and be like, oh shit, how are we going to now work this into being something else? Because that was sort of like, it seems to have been around that time where I've been like, a lot of the Disney stuff, I've just been like, I'm just not enjoying this as much. A lot of things like Loki and that.
I was literally about to say
Loki.
Loki.
Loki's fantastic. I love that series.
And my favorite
Moon Knight. Yeah, definitely.
My favorite Loki trivia: the girl that composed the theme tune for the Loki series. Do you remember Britain's Got Talent, where a woman managed to egg Simon Cowell from the stage? Like, she hid on. There was a performance happening, and there was some people playing violin in the back, and this woman that was meant to be one of the people playing violin just like started egging Simon Cowell.
Yeah,
like,
she's got up and just started lobbing them.
So she composed that theme tune for Loki, which I think is just perfect.
That's insane. I never knew. Fucking hell.
I'm just like,
what a career.
If anyone to write a theme tune for, you're mainly known for being a cheeky little prick going out on stage and egging someone. Yeah, Loki, that's the one to get you to compose for.
I'll rate that. I saw a video of the guy who fucking, like, some really random like video from the guy who's directed Obsession, some like fake prank thing he did, which like a Pringles can, like for his girlfriend, and his mate ends up doing it, and it's just him sort of sat like this, and it's just captioned, "This is the guy that made Obsession." It's like this is how he started. It's like, yeah, you can do anything.
Hell yeah.
Nice. So anything other than that, like I said, I haven't necessarily actually got to be nerdy shit. It's just general non-music related interest, really. Sort of. I mean, Jack mentioned football earlier. Is that I think.
I feel like we used to when we were younger.
Like, younger was more football.
Not something that we're as much into.
I hate football once I started seeing people go down like sacks of shit. Yeah. I was started seeing people roll, and I was like, I just really can't get into watching, grown ass men flailing around. It was like the bit where I'm like, I like a bit, when they like run after the ball, you shoulder barge a bit, and they'll go for the ball still. It's like it's the thing that then now seems to get rid of it. And then I've had football fans go, yeah, but it's part of the game now, and I'm like, it doesn't justify it to me. I'm one of these, thanks to scorer, I prefer NFL now. Yeah. Like, for what I can watch, because it's awkward time zones. Like, I know it's a bit more stop-starty, but you can sometimes just watch a football game and nothing happens for 90 minutes. So it's like, I find
Who'd you follow that?
New York Giants.
Yeah, he made me a Giants fan.
Terrible team.
Fucking hate him for it.
But they got one of the best players come back through the off season this season. So hopefully Beckham Jr. brings it back. But no, not expecting much. Just nice football. That's all we want to watch.
It was annoying because the first season I watched, they were doing fucking great. Yeah. And you literally told me the whole season, you're like, don't get used to this.
No.
I think
that was the year they made the playoffs. They got one playoff game in and they lost in the playoffs. But yeah, it's good fun to watch. I watched the game at the MetLife, like 2018, and that was really good atmosphere. And in America, it's obviously different. You've got the whole tailgate going on outside. Stadiums are not set up the same as they are in Europe. A lot of people have been talking about that with the World Cup. Obviously, most stadiums are in cities, and they're quite accessible. Whereas America, it's actually like 10 miles to get to the MetLife from like Manhattan. So it's hard to get there, and there's about a mile or two of car parks around it, but people will be like parked up out there, like, having barbecues and stuff like that.
I think that's all I'd go for, really. I'd be like, oh shit, the game's on. Can I have another burger?
Exactly. Yeah. But no, I enjoy watching that probably more than normal football. Normal football these days.
Yeah, don't correct yourself. It's normal football.
Yeah, normal football.
It is American football and football. I'm never going to go back on it soccer.
Of course not.
But yeah. I'll be honest, they could learn from like some of the chants. They need to fuck me. That's the only thing I've been seeing from this World Cup so far is American chants, and I'm just like, these are so lame. Yeah. Like the UK ones where they're just literally going, "We're shit." It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I do like seeing the US chants versus UK chants thing. And you get the old I believe that we will win. I
Yeah.
shagged your nan. I shagged your nan. Just so.
Yeah, the contrasts are insane. But yeah, I'll definitely follow that part of football.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I guess to be fair, other than all I do is cook food. Like that's. I had a week off, and I look back and I went, all I did was just try and cook something every meal. Like that was.
You're pretty good at it.
Yeah, I do the basics very well. Like, I'm a butcher, baker. Ah, come on, Richard, come on. So I realised I wasn't.
I was going to say candlestick maker, but I was like, oh, should I?
I didn't see it on the screen, and then the hand lifted up a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, not right. But yeah, because I mean, I am a proper foodie, so it's I base a lot of my life around what I'm eating. It's so true. It's sad.
I'm just a quick thing back to the NFL thing. I'm a Giants fan too.
Oh yeah.
I've followed them since I was like 11. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Are
you okay, Richie?
You probably would have seen it when they won it. Like, what was it? Kind of 2 years in succession. When
no, they won it twice in 3 years. I think it was. But yeah, because I think it's 2011 was the last time they won it, if I remember correctly, and they've done fuck all since. And it's like literally like, there's a bloke at my work. He follows Giants too. It's like literally it'll be first game of the season, and I'll get up in the morning. I'll check the result, and then like we'll see each other at work. Like, season's over. Yeah, season's over. And that's the first game of the season.
Oh,
right?
no.
It's like getting stomped like 23-0 by the Bills, and it's like,
yep,
it's done. It's just
done.
Like, that's it.
I remember like following some of these games. Some of it's like having to follow it on Instagram because I can't watch it, and you're going, we're going up, and then it's like I look back at it like the last quarter, and I go, how the fuck did we then lose that much? Like at that point, I'm like, this is insane. It took me a while to get into it because one of the first games I watched was one of the Super Bowls, and it was the first Super Bowl or anything I'd ever watched. And it was the lowest scoring Super Bowl in history. I was like, whoa. I picked a good one for this. I think we watched it around mine, and it was like the third quarter was the first. I think it was first thing scored.
Yeah,
it was like I was like, wow. Like, I stayed up till like 4 a.m. for this. This is dog shit. And then I started like actually watching some other games. I was like, nah, I'm getting a bit into this now. I think it's because there was two defensive teams. I can't remember who it was. That's how boring it was, to be fair.
I just remember it being I think it was Maroon 5 was the halftime show.
Yeah, I remember that.
Hadn't Levine on his own with someone else. It was, but I remember that starting and going, I'm gonna go home now. We're gonna have an early night this the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And just call it. But there's been some great ones ever since. Like the Chiefs and the 49ers just after the pandemic, just before the pandemic, I think it was. That was an insane Super Bowl. And that was like Shakira and J-Lo halftime show that went off.
Yeah. Sometimes the halftime shows but maybe try and watch it for. But I'm like, it was that year, to be fair, where it was like fucking 50 Cent, Eminem.
Yeah,
so fuck me, that was a good one.
Probably one of the best shows. I mean, Kendrick absolutely smashed it as well.
Yeah.
I know there's a bit of a petition online to try and get Parkway Drive as a half.
I think metal would suit it so much. Like one of the things after like watching that, I didn't watch the event properly, but the fucking when Alex Terrible fought and they had metal band like Malevolent, bar and that, I was like, well, it's such a perfect fitting for the sort of show it is. I'm like, metal should probably be in it. I remember they were saying about Metallica as well at one year. I'm not the biggest Metallica fan, but I would be like, this does sort of have its place here. Like it's just fucking just loud, energetic. Like, yeah. And you never know, Lease On Life, we'll do it.
They're asking.
You know?
Need someone full swap.
So yeah, no, I had some on that one actually. I've not watched any. It's been a while since I watched the last Super Bowl actually, because even though Giants were shit, I'd still watch it. It's like the FA Cup. I'd always watch the FA Cup final, even though
like
my football team nowhere near it. But yeah, I'd still always watch the cup final, but I haven't watched it for 30 years. But the thing is, though, like you say, it's like sort of like kickoffs are like up as 1 a.m,
Yeah.
and sort of like, and then because I work alternating shifts as well, it's like it always seems to fall when I'm working early shifts. So it's like, well, I could pull an all nighter and go to work straight from it straight away, or I could try and watch it when I get home, and then it's like the next day I just never got around to it, and it's just sort of sat on the planner for
Yeah.
a month, and it's like I know what the score was, so it's
Yeah.
like,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, it's a bit like with the sort of World Cup. Like, I'm not really I get a little bit into the World Cup. I haven't I mean the Euros I didn't really get into too much. But I think I was on holiday when England were playing. But it's a bit like we're playing tomorrow, and I'm like very and and about like, do I even really want to go? I'm like, I know once I'm there, I'd really be enjoying it because I do remember when we were in, it was the 2018.
I think
Like going to Mischief and that, like some of the times that was absolute scenes. I was like, yeah, that's what it's sort of all about. And yeah, I'm just not sure on this one. Just say that. But yeah, it all depends on what sort of the vibe is around something. Like, yeah, I just don't really go to the pub for it anymore. Like, I used to always go and watch like football at the pub, get a burger and a pint. That was like my little routine, but that changed. I think music just took over, and it's more like I just get more invested in that now.
so I always complain about England games left, right, and centre. Friendlies, they can't be bothered. Qualifiers, they can't be bothered. It's just sort of like, winning 1-0 against Estonia is like, what the fuck? We're supposed to have like
Yeah, we should be
11 of the
smashing,
world's
like.
best players on the pitch right now. Like, Estonia are happy to be ranked 111th. It's like, how the hell we only 1-0 up, sort of thing. And then having that golden era in like the mid 2000s and that, and then so it's like you had like the next gen coming through who would do all the qualifiers, and then you get to a competition and they go back to the old players instead, and they did nothing. And like you look at the lineup and you're just counting the Champions League winners medals, and that, and yet they still couldn't be bothered in the game. And then so like I said, like those sort of things, I just got pissed off, couldn't be bothered with it. Yet comes round to a tournament, that's it. Come on, you boys! I was like,
Coming home.
There's some switch that flicks, and as soon as they fuck it up, it's like, fucking knew it. I knew it. I fucking knew it.
It'll always be just something really. I remember like one of them. It was just like we had such like it was considered like an easy run in the group, and then like we kept getting lucky on like the sort of like the knockout stage, and I think it was Croatia. I was very much like, Phil, we should win that. I think we went 1-0 up, and then it was like in about 10 minutes, the first 2 attacks they had on England, they scored, and then they obviously won the game. It was like, we're not, but we just bottle it. Just bottle it. It's like all that hype, and then you're just like, oh, it's all over now. Especially that year we watched it, and it was like we didn't even make it out of the group. So I was like, that was it. It's over at that point. I just don't really watch any of it. I might watch the final at the end. I think I remember putting on the Brazil game when they were like getting. Was it Germany that fucking destroyed them that year? It was like
it was
7-0 or something.
2014.
Yeah,
2014.
Things like that. I was like, I'll always watch sort of things like that, but most of the time it's like just very hard to get into it. I'll be honest, it's like the idea of watching the old like match of the day. I was like, I can see all the highlights in a nice little time frame. I haven't got to watch the time wasting at the end or any of that bollocks. But yeah, used to get into it, but it's not for me as much anymore.
You say about the fucking around in the game and that. The last Euros, we were on holiday and we were playing. I can't remember which way around. We either played Slovenia in the knockouts, in the group, and then Slovakia in the knockout, or it was the other way around. I remember it was like one of them. It was one after the other, and it was a knockout game. And I made a joke that we should take a sip every time we passed back to a defender unnecessarily, and I was so gassed up in the next 4 minutes. Right, it was fucking unreal because it's like I started falling behind on the amount of times they'd pass back and whatnot. I was like, I'm going pissed by half time.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's just the thing when you
missed the
like
first 10 minutes of the game. Right.
Yeah, it's just that thing when you sort of watch England play. I mean, I feel like a proper like couch manager here, but it's that thing where it's just like you just go. It just doesn't look like there's that like little finesse that you see in like other countries' teams. It's like it always just goes back to that one. It's just like how we used to play, like when you're a kid, like smack it up front, fucking run onto it, and hope for the
Yeah,
best.
there was only two kinds of play. Well, there's three kinds of players: the shit player, the player hoofs it up the other end, or the player who thinks they can take everyone on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I say,
Yeah.
it seems to be in the way. Like, I always just never see that like little spark from us, and it's like, yeah, I think that's what I still don't think I've like got. I think that's probably one of the reasons I really got into it. Like, yeah, NFL. Woo.
So, yeah. Aside from sports, is there anything else that tickles the old tisms at all, or?
And we've got a photography nerd here.
Yeah, I could go on about that. I do that for work. Self-employed with it, so I could talk about photography.
It's the fact he has, like, we didn't realise, but you was like say you were the photographer at Waterfront for the days. You've got plenty of photos of us looking at our best.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty fun, like to look back on after joining the band, finding all of you guys in all my old photos.
Yeah.
And back then you were just faces in the crowd, and now you're my boys.
Hell
So
yeah.
it's the best.
We're one big family. Score, get involved, you little bitch.
Oh, right. I think that's a good time to wrap all this up. I mean, not even yapping crap
Thanks
to
for
me
having
for
us,
2
mate.
hours and 2.25 hours. So Chens, thank you so much for coming on and chatting to me. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you for having us, dude.
Thank you. Yeah.
Where can everybody find your socials and find your stuff so they can listen to you?
Do you know it?
No, I got this wrong last time.
It's, everything we're on. It's
Internet.
Lease On Life band.
All right, brilliant. So and you've also got your 2 gigs coming up in July as well, 3rd and the 15th.
Yep.
Yeah,
3rd and
I
15th.
remember.
He remembers, I forgot. That might even not be right.
So right before we go, I have one very, very important question that everyone needs to know the answer to. What's your favourite dinosaurs?
Oh, fucking hell. Score's mum.
Oh,
I hope she doesn't watch this. I love you. Fucking, I don't know, raptor. No, that fucking big, like, crocodile thing. I can't remember what it's called. So that's how big of a fan I am. It's not the megalodon, is it? That was a...
That's a shot.
That's a shot.
I want to go pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl.
Yeah.
I like Allosaurus because it's like T-Rex but without the silly little arms.
I still
It's like a
hope,
hench raptor.
I still hope that they were actually like feathered like chickens, and we've just got it wrong this entire
Some of them were.
Yeah.
Some of them were.
I
We
wanna see
literally
like
have
a
the proof.
big
They have
chicken.
actually got evidence of not feathers necessarily like they're feathered like a pigeon, but it's like even like the small fluffy feathers like a
Yeah.
chick would have.
So, I mean, I just want to see one like looking like that because I'm like, you just don't look terrifying anymore. That run and be like, oh fuck off, lay an egg.
Right.
Put you
I
in a rubber
will
dog
just
script.
point out that two things. Pterodactyls aren't dinosaurs, and pterodactyls aren't a thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, have I just got that from a film then?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Jurassic Park, mate.
I mean,
So
Te-
right,
Pterodactyl.
so what we see as what we all know as a pterodactyl is actually a pteranodon, right? And they are pterosaurs, not dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And the pterodon comes under the Pterodactylus family genome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Would
know
you
your
believe you are the
dinosaurs.
3rd person I've had this conversation with on
Oh,
these podcasts?
At least you knew the name of it. I don't know the name. I was just like, there was an alligator thing that I remember seeing on a show, and I was like, fucking cool. Like, I mean, alligators are fucking.
I just hope this gets edited into what's your favorite dinosaur? Alligators.
Alligators. And they're like pigeons and shit. They're from fucking dinosaurs, aren't they? Because they're pigeon.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrifying animal. Oh, well.
The funny thing is, you say a pigeon, that's closer to dinosaur than pterodactyl.
Yeah.
There you go. Go walk in the market. You're like dinosaurs.
Hell yeah.
Oh, dear.
But all right, gents. Once again, thank you so much for coming on and spending the time. I really appreciate it.
Legend, man. Thank you.
Awesome seeing you again, man.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Everybody watching this, thank you so much for watching this. Thank you for spending the time. Listen to my shite for a bit. So like,
We're just waiting.
again, thank you everybody involved. These guys have been Lease On Life. I've been Richie. Thank you. Good night.